We are brought to you by Boss Bears Supplements. That's Boss Bears Supplements at bossbears.co. Hard work, consistency, and determination are difficult to sustain when your mind and body can't keep up. Fuel your body with what it needs to perform like a boss. Whether you're closing deals, pitching a new business idea, or training in the gym, Boss Bears take your hustle to the next level. Our ingredients are the highest quality with potency and serving sizes that are the gold standard in the industry. Check out all of Boss Bears products at bossbears.co. They have apple cider vinegar gummies. They have ashwagandha. They have all kinds of supplements in delicious gummy form. They also have them in pill form if you don't want the gummies. I prefer the gummies. They are delicious, and I've tried the apple cider vinegar. They are very good. Use code Nicky at checkout to save 10%. That's bossbears.co, code Nicky. We are brought to you by Clout Power Supplements. That's KLOUTPWR.com. So here I have the protein, the Cravings protein from Clout. This one is the salted caramel. This is some of the best protein that I've ever had in my life. It's actually delicious. I like the salted caramel and the cinnamon swirl are my two favorites. Also, their pre-workouts are amazing. So they have the Karma Nootropic pre-workout. It's a nootropic and focused pre-workout. It's a lower stimulant formula, zero itch formula. It has 4 trademark ingredients, and has fully dosed ingredients. So far, the Arctic Cherry is probably my favorite of the Karma pre-workout. Also, try the Nero Aminos from them. And also the High Stimulant Mamba is some of my favorite too. And I really like the Arctic Cherry of that one. So go to cloutpower.com and use code Nicky to save 15%. KLOUTPWR.com. Code Nicky to save 15%.
I mean, it's bomb.
Yo, everybody. Welcome to the Nicky Free Podcast. We are here with IFBB Pro. Mark Sindayen. How are you, Mark?
I'm doing great.
We got Mark back on the podcast for the, millionth time? Third time?
Third
time.
I think I've been on here the most now.
You've probably been on here the most.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, what do you call it? OG.
I'm OG.
You're one of the OG members back in the day when it was like 10 episodes in. Yeah.
Is that where you're at? Because you hadn't resurrected at the time yet, right?
No, that was when, it was like sitting dormant, and then I resurrected it starting with you at episode 10, and now here we are at episode 47. So that's pretty dope, dude.
So before that, we weren't on our preps yet. Now we're deep into them, and we're about 9 weeks out.
9 weeks out from the Emerald Cup.
How's yours going?
Mine is going very good, but it's been pretty smooth sailing so far, but I know the hard part is coming up. So I'm really trying to get myself, like when you were talking about what you're eating right now, you're just like, it doesn't even enter my mind to like eat off my plan. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no.
So trying to get myself into that kind of headspace where it's like, you know, it's got to be the most important thing in my life. And it's been tough too, because like, it's not been tough yet because like my calories are still high enough, my lifts are still good. Posing's been going well. I did some posing with my coach Jordan. He's got that set up in his garage now. Actually, I helped him put that little floor together.
Yeah, you told me. That was cool.
Yeah, it looks pretty dope.
I saw that. Looks like if he had little break dancers around him, they'd be spinning on that thing the whole time.
Right, dude. So. You could start going and doing some break dancing over there. But it's like learning how to do posing. So versus like when I did pro wrestling, it was like you take a bunch of pre-workout, you do that, you're in the back, there's like other people on the show ahead of you, so there's matches going on. And then you're in the back, you slam some pre-workout, you got some bands in the back, you start pumping up, trying to get like a pump on. And then you're like standing behind the curtain, you get all fucking like, you start jumping, stretching, kind of slap yourself a little bit, maybe give yourself a couple slaps, get yourself warmed up. and then you like bust through the curtain. Your entrance music's going. You just like high fiving people. Mm-hmm. So high five, high five, high five. You're just like getting the crowd all pumped up, like hoo, hoo, hoo. You know, you just try to get them like elevated, especially when you're the good guy. You know, you want to have this energetic. You know, and then you go in and you have your match, and it is. There's parts of it that are kind of, maybe graceful, athletic for sure, but this posing stuff is such a different thing because it's about like poise, gracefulness, like, trying to bring that side of me out, like learn how to like.
You can't move like a robot.
You can't move like a robot. You can't move like a big like fucking lunk, like you got to learn how to move.
Yeah.
Almost like a dancer or like it's smooth. It's got to be smooth, what I'm saying? So like
ish without popping stuff around, just
So it's a new thing, dude.
Very subtle movements, nothing explosive,
Yeah.
So
yeah, you're right. Nothing explosive, very smooth and like graceful, kind of, like. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, and I have a good coach because Jordan's like really good at it too.
Yep.
And so yeah, just trying to like take in that and learn it. It's been pretty crazy. So I have another posing class with him on Saturday again.
Gotcha. Are you doing it once a week?
At least twice a week I've been trying to.
Oh, nice. Good for you.
And I'm going to...
A lot of people don't do that.
And then also every morning I think I'm going to add that to my morning routine because he's got me, training on how to like do the, kind of bring it down. Like, kind of turn into it and then bring it down, show the chest. And then kind of set my feet, and then, it's, I don't know, dude. It's going to be pretty dope, but...
How's the transition been from being just a guy who loves to work out and wanted to change your body to now you're fixated on a show? How was that? Was it a big change for you?
I mean, yeah, definitely. Like, it's still like, it's definitely intimidating and scary, honestly. But it feels like the right thing to do. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's intimidating in a sense because it's like, I mean, I've been in front of people wrestling, but you're kind of in a character and like, I mean, I guess with wrestling, you're kind of like half naked in front of a crowd too. But this is like, you're going to be like...
Yeah, you're trying not to sweat, actually.
You're going to be up there, like, half naked. There's a crowd. The crowd shouldn't faze me too much, but it is different than wrestling because, I'm used to those crowds. But, now I'm going to be up there being judged, like my physique, just being, and so then it's like all these little things, like keeping your core tight and, like, it's going to... I don't know, dude. It's going to be wild. What advice do you have for me?
All I would say is... I mean, you're doing the right thing. What are we, 9-10 weeks out?
Yeah.
9 weeks. You're doing the right thing. A lot of people tend to underestimate the how much of a factor posing is. So.
Well, I just realized how big of a deal it is.
Yeah.
And, I think Jordan also doesn't want any of his guys going out there thinking it's nothing.
No, none of us do.
Yeah. Right. He's not going to, like... So he's going to, make sure to stay on top of me about that. And so it's been good getting to go to his place and do some of that. But now I just have to put that into practice every morning. You know what I mean? Like I feel like the more reps you do it, the better it's going to get and the smoother it's going to get.
Yeah. So
yeah,
what I mentioned by doing the right thing is a lot of people, Jordan will probably get this too, and any coach that's watching this, we all get it. There's like people that wait till 2 or 3 weeks out. Mm-hmm. Hey, I don't know how to pose. Okay. So, what show are we doing? I'm doing my first show in 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. What? You are? Yeah. Okay, I need to see, because you don't know if that person moves well or not. If they move awkwardly, it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to almost take like personal training sessions. You're going to have to, make it maybe 3, 4, maybe 5 days a week.
Right.
It just depends on the athlete. So, but doing what you're doing is very smart. And you were already working with Jordan for, a couple years now?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for a couple of years, I worked with him twice a week. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I actually would like to get back to doing that again. It's like...
Yeah.
If time for permitting and I just had some other things I needed to kind of like put my energy into, But I'd like to get at least, because you can do so much on your own. But it's like, I know it's like if I worked with him twice a week on back lifts, just back,
Yes.
I could probably have a completely different back a year from now. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like I am thinking about it again. And we'll see how this show goes. I'm not going to try to think much past this show. But
Stay in the moment. Stay on this show only. Don't think ahead of
Right.
anything else.
Right, because I have no idea how it's going to go. Like I was telling you before we even got on air, like, my biggest thing is I just want to make sure that I put everything I have into it. And, that doesn't mean I'll win. That doesn't mean I'll place great. It doesn't mean. But what I want to do is make sure I didn't cheat myself at all. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. That's all you can do.
I want to know that I did everything that I was supposed to do, And so far, so good on that. But, yeah.
Yeah, the great thing about it is even though wrestling's quite different, it's more physical. It's a lot more entertaining. You can actually have a higher chance of getting injured on a wrestling stage, of course, because you're putting your body at risk by either landing on somebody landing on you, or landing on something you shouldn't land on. Here, it's pretty grounded. So, but the adrenaline rush is the same. So when you get on the stage and you're in front of people, and all of us are scared going on.
Right.
We're all scared, and we're like pacing back and forth. We're sweating. Our heart is racing fast, even though some of us like to hide it.
Yeah.
A lot. But once you get in what they, like a first call out, so-called first call out, where they call out, they're trying to measure who the top 5 is for that particular class. It's an adrenaline rush. It's like scoring a touchdown. It's like scoring a basket. It's like blocking somebody. It's like stealing a ball. It's like slamming somebody in the ring. The difference is you're battling with some of the best physiques in the entire Northwest, and sometimes even the country, because Emerald Cup's a prestigious show. So
that's the crazy part about it, dude.
It's like the Olympia regional shows. So anybody that is a pro now, a lot of us didn't even win the show.
Right.
I was a runner-up. That doesn't count.
And that's why I'm not taking it lightly, dude.
Yep.
It's like,
and then there's high-level athletes like Mark Dugdale and Tangi Johnson. Mm-hmm. They didn't win the show.
Right. And they're like the craziest athletes out there.
10-time athletes. So that's how difficult you can. It's like any given. I call it any given Saturday, any given Sunday, like football, any given Friday, whatever day you're competing. Anybody can be beat on any day. There are people that have beaten me that aren't even pros now.
Right.
There's people that I've beaten. They're still not pro.
Right.
You know what I mean? So any given Sunday. And then that spans from somebody who's 200 pounds, 250 pounds, 175 pounds. I've beaten a lot of people. But some of those people, people that I can't beat at all. So it's because of the structure. So what's cool is when you're up against the best, it's a great feeling when you're up against the best, in my opinion. When you're up against the best and you win, that really means you really earned it.
Yeah.
So, but you're up against the best and you lost, that's kind of still a victory in my opinion.
Yeah.
If you go against a group that's weak and you win, I don't really consider that a victory. So
right, for me, a victory is going to be knowing that I didn't cheat myself, knowing that I followed the plan, knowing that I put in all the work in the cardio. Mm-hmm. To me, that's the most important thing. Is the last thing I want to do is get up there and be like, man, I could have been better today because if I would have, you know what I mean?
All you need to do is do what you're doing now and you won't have any regrets.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the same focus that it took to get on,
it's time to kind of step the focus up, though, right? Like,
yes,
that's what I feel like right now. It's like for a while there, it can kind of get kind of fun, like, because I love training and I actually do love eating my meal plan and stuff. Like, I like everything about this lifestyle, but it also gets kind of like routine and like a little, maybe some complacency every once in a while because you're, not really. I mean, I'm always working hard. I never feel like there's a week where, maybe there's a few days where I could have, but I feel like when you're getting closer and closer, it's like you got to almost like get to this different like place in your mind. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I feel like I need to get there over these next few weeks where I really, really focus. I was thinking that today, like the last couple of days I was doing my cardio, and I'm like, okay, I need to make sure that I'm like hungry for this. You know what I mean? Like kind of like you said with wrestling. Like when I started wrestling, dude, I was like obsessed with it. You know what I'm saying?
It's the same
like,
thing. So
yeah.
same focus.
And it's like now I'm older now. I'm like,
how old are you?
38. So, but it's like
still a baby,
but I'm like, I can still have that kind of passion and like laser focus for things no matter how old I am, because you get older, like sometimes you lose some of that stuff, but I'm like, this is something new and it's scary. And I think that's what makes it so fun.
Yeah.
And it's something I'm not good at yet. So it's like you said, how does it feel to go from like just a dude who's like, oh, I'm going to work out with a coach to like stepping on stage for your first show, dude. It's like intimidating as fuck. And like you said, this is not just a show. It's like, I mean, I'm just this kid from Iowa with like, whatever. I don't know how good my genetics are or nothing, but I'm going to be stepping on stage against probably some of the best genetics in the world, like you said. And I don't know what gives me the idea I can even do that, but I'm just going to do it,
All you need to worry about, because I get this question all the time from clients, how do you think I'm going to place? I'm sure Jordan and whoever all the coaches are, like, maybe...
I haven't asked that at all.
Kimberly gets that question.
Yeah.
How do you think I'm going to do? We can't answer that question. That's a loaded question, because we can't round up people that are coming from sometimes there are people coming from all over the country, all over the Pacific Northwest, Spokane, Portland, Oregon, Idaho.
Right.
We have no idea. So that question, for anybody who's watching this, please don't ask that question. We cannot predict.
You get asked that a lot, don't you?
We cannot predict that.
Why do you think people? You think people are so worried about? Do you think they just want to win so bad? Is that what they're trying to get an idea? They don't like the idea of the unknown.
There's nothing wrong with the winning mentality, but it's a different way of winning, if I can put it that way. You can't just score a basket. You can't just pin somebody and it's done. You can't score a touchdown or a field goal and it's over. This is based on a collaborative of 8 judges.
Right.
There's not one person who makes the decision.
Well, even like to your point, like pro wrestling, there could be a dude that's got a better physique than me, but I could be a better wrestler and I could outwork him.
Yeah,
and I could out entertain him, and I'd still be on the top.
Yep.
And beating him means like my promoter told me I was going to win because it's a worked sport. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, like, if I'm more entertaining than that guy, if I got a better character, if I, there's been wrestlers that that aren't even like genetically they don't have good bodies.
That does factor in a little bit. So because you like say if there's 5 Nick Friedhoffs on stage.
Right.
The one who obviously carries themselves the best is going to win, right?
Yeah.
So if you have 5 of those, I don't know, 5 Carlos, 5 Jordan Hubbards, 5 Mark Sindayens, we're going to have a work cut out for us because now you have the same exact look. Mm-hmm. That's what I tell people.
But that's kind of where you were able to put your own style into what you do, which we've talked about before.
Yeah, I've taken a little bit from a lot of people. I mean, I've taken a lot from my coaches, Andre Scott, Turk Fickling, all the greats, Lee Labrada, Sean Ray, Dexter Jackson, even the physique divisions, what is it? One of my favorite guys to watch is Jeremy Bundia. Some of the new guys.
That guy's, he's awesome.
Yeah, some of the new guys, there's a few that I can think of. Maybe it's Stephen Ko. Classic guys, obviously Chris Bumstead, and then Terrence Ruffin, Rough Diesel.
Right.
I just take a little bit from each person, and you can make your own. So.
And how you feeling right now, dude? You're really. On
it's getting there. So I'm so used to this that this is not my first rodeo. This is my 23rd. This is my 23rd prep. So
23 years.
Yeah. This is what is it? 23. So I had 13. I did 13 amateur shows, 13 NPC shows, and now I'm on my 10th pro show. So I've done all 3 divisions. I've done 1 classic show.
Not retired.
1 2 12 show. Not
retired, baby.
Smart ass.
Still going. Still going.
Still going. So I don't know how much longer I can go, but as long as I enjoy it. One of the things, the reason why I do it too is it actually shows my own athletes that I can go through this and still lead them. So
yeah.
and it's not easy. I'm not gonna say it's not easy.
Dude, I
easy,
love
it's
I
not
love
hard.
a coach that
Yeah.
does that.
So if we do it, I mean, it gets to a point where it's kind of like the blind leading the blind a little bit, because I'm depleted, they're depleted, and then I had to tell my athletes the funniest thing the other day. I was like, "Can you please make sure you put that on your notes on your phone, because I might forget."
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna remind myself to put the notes on my phone, so we're both overcompensating on follow up here, because there's a good chance that I may forget, because my
Well,
cognitivity is going to be a little bit down. So
I know that's what you were telling me about, like next month for podcasting too. You're like, bro, you're gonna be so.
yeah,
I'm
Yeah,
like, well, we'll see how
we're
it
going to
goes.
be repetitively repeating ourselves on this
Like,
podcast,
it's just
probably.
like what? Yeah.
So
But no, man, how do you? You've been really working a lot, working hard lately. I've noticed. Like, I mean, I think that's just what you do. But you know, with doing your Instagram lives, you know, you're coming on my podcast a lot. You're training so many clients a day. Now you're going to prep yourself. Do you have any advice for people on how you like manage all that? How do you? Is it just sheer willpower?
it's willpower, but it's also attitude. It's your attitude to. I mean,
Keeping a positive one.
Yeah, keeping a positive one. So if you can't handle that kind of multitasking, and I mean, I know I can drive my wife nuts sometimes with my schedule. She's like, you need to learn how to pull back. You need to learn how to, have your margins. Work hard, play hard type of thing. And because when I play hard, I play hard. When I
Yeah.
work, I'm like hyper focused almost. That's why when Danielle and Jeff were on here, they were like, "Man, that guy never sleeps." And
Well, that's what they said. They were like, I mean, they're like, I'm pretty sure he
Yeah.
was with the client at 11:30.
Yeah. And there's funny. We were poking fun at each other one time. And Danielle goes, "I was like, yeah, I would take more clients, but I'd like to sleep."
Yeah.
So one thing I have a hard time doing is saying no, but at
Yeah.
the same time, I try my best possible way to treat every client like they're my only client. So
That's important.
that's a hard thing to do, obviously, but in each client is a little bit different, of course.
Right.
Some people learn really, really slow. No pun intended. Some people are really fast at learning stuff. Some
Yeah.
people are really dumb, like myself. I'm sure my coaches were pulling their hair out for years of how long it took me to learn things. I mean, at this point now, I know pretty much all the categories on how to help with presentation on that. I'm sure my coach, Andre Scott, bless his heart, was pulling his hair out how slow it took me to learn each category.
But also that
So-
kind of shows you that if you stick with something long enough, you can always get it. Like, it's never a hopeless thing. Because you're right. Some people do learn
Yeah.
at different rates than other people. And it's, as a coach, it's your job to not get discouraged, but to keep believing you can teach them, you know? Do you have a lot of general health type of clients too, or is it mostly
I have a
competitors?
good amount, probably a third. I'm trying to raise that a little bit more. A lot of people think I'm just a
Competitor
like a
only.
competitor coach. That's the first question that I actually that's how I actually get a lot of my marketing and where I get my leads. People ask first, "Oh, do you only coach competitors?" I'm like, "No, absolutely not. I help everybody." So, and what I basically sell and promote to those people is we have a community, regardless if you're a competitor or not. We have a community of great, amazing, positive people that'll support your journey, no matter if you're going to step on stage or not. So, and I think that's especially with the mental health thing that people need now. Some people need people around them. So, myself, I've been kind of a loner in the sport, to be honest. I've always been able to work on my own. So to have the community I have now is pretty cool.
Right.
Something I didn't really have when I was growing up in the industry. So when I say a loner, I like my coach is down in Federal Way and or Oregon, and I'm up in Seattle, and I only see this guy. It's like some. I'll just say it. A lot of you are spoiled right now,
Yeah.
because you see your coach almost every day,
Right.
like 4 or 5 days a week. We're managing those people. But it's cool to have that camaraderie around. So what I would say to people, and you already know this, Nick, you have a great support system with the family that Jordan and Kimberly have created. I would say to anybody that's working with them or working with myself and our team, or anybody that is on a large team, don't take it for granted, because not everybody has that. Some people are in Timbuktu getting remotely coached, and they're not around us all the time. So I would really be really careful of taking that for granted, because
we're very lucky here.
We're lucky.
Just even this area, man, that's like what is keeping me here. Like, I'm from a different state. I moved here. It's it's a cool area, but I think it was finding the bodybuilding community that is here that's kind of what's keeping me here. And I found this new thing that I'm passionate about now, because like I said, I'd always done music, pro wrestling. I have to have something, right?
Yeah. And
this gives me an outlet for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's got to be something. I mean, the podcast too now, but I don't know, man. I feel like you said, you don't know how much longer you're going to do this, but it's almost like, do you feel compelled? It's like, it's definitely a huge part of your life, right?
It is a part of my life, but my kids are getting older now. They're almost 20 and 9 years old now.
Yeah.
I really make an effort not to miss anything, and that's the reason why I started, the Giant Killer Crew, or GK Crew, 7 years ago. So this is my 7th year now as having my own team and having my own brand. I came from cell phone sales, where I was working 12, 14 hours a day. I mean, I'm kind of doing the same thing.
But you
sort of, maybe not as much, but I'm sometimes my day starts at 2:00 in the afternoon, or 3 or 4, and I'm up till like 11. So I would say I wasn't working as much as I was when I was in cell phones, because in cell phone sales there would be almost 10 hours straight where I wouldn't have a break. So 10 to 14 hours, and I was still prepping for shows.
Do you prefer working those later hours? Is that so you can be with the kids?
It just kind of fell in
just
that way.
How it happened.
But I just try to, because I had to bring the kids at school at 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Right.
And on certain days, I pick them up at 2, 2:30, 3 o'clock, and then 4, and then I work all my clients around that. So they actually they do work around. My schedule.
You get to see your kids a lot. You're always taking them to like what martial arts and all that kind of stuff. So that's good.
Yeah, which is really cool. My eldest daughter, Michaela, just got her 10-year dedication trophy. 10 years in martial arts since she was, what is she, 19 now?
Dude, that's so good for people too.
And she started when she was 9. And then the youngest, the 9-year-old's going in she has her first black belt test, which is, a lot of people think it's easy. It's
pretty hard.
And see what they're going to have to do here in the next couple
Dude,
months.
That's so valuable that you got them in martial arts. Just even as a self-defense thing, like going.
Oh yeah, I'm not worried about my kids. My kids are
pretty good.
They're pretty badasses. So any boy that comes around, I'm not worried about them at all.
Well, that's like I think there's a group called We the Female.
We the Female.
Yeah, and they do that. Like, they teach self-defense and everything, and I think we're going to have somebody from them come on here and talk about the importance of self-defense, especially for women. I mean, but for everybody. So yeah, that's like that's a super good thing, dude.
Nice. Well, the thing I love so much about competing is I heard from.
You're kind of like Tom Brady, dude. You're just never gonna quit.
Only not winning though in the pros.
Yeah.
No. That is actually one of my biggest inspirations.
Dude, the guy's the man.
Yeah, one of my biggest inspirations, and I was like, damn, if he's keeping going, he's gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. And
people are always like, why don't they retire? But it's like, but he's winning.
Yeah.
Like, if he's that good, why would he retire?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. At some point, you have to, but I don't know, man. Like, I always love that. Like, quarterbacks, like same with Brett Favre. Like, he was still doing great, so it's like, why would he quit?
Mm-hmm. If you're flourishing, I don't think you should stop. But I mean, there is a point too. Obviously, there's time that you can't get back with your kids. So
that's the other thing, dude, and that's something that many pro wrestlers talk about. That the one I can think about that really is like that the Undertaker. So like he talks about that openly. He's married now. and has a wife, and he's got like two younger kids now, but he's retired and he's able to give them all the time in the world. So he's a great dad to them, you know. But he had kids from a previous marriage before that when he was still younger and in the sport of pro wrestling, and he admits it that he really fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was gone all the time.
Yeah.
He's chasing this other dream, and he definitely neglected those kids from his. And I think they're all good now. You know, they've made amends, but he knows that there's nothing he can do to fix that. You know, he can do it right with the kids he has now, which is what he's doing, his younger kids. But I mean, yeah, dude, you're right. It's like when you're chasing something, I don't know, that'd be tough.
Yep. You did ask me earlier what keeps me going with all the things I got going on, and I mentioned to you that it was just having a good attitude, just as long as you love what you're doing. So it's like what I do is not really work. So I don't know. There's something about it. Like I guess I grew up in a childhood where I didn't see too many people happy.
Right.
So I like seeing people happy. So I like encouraging people. That's why I like doing the lives. I want to hear somebody's pain.
You're genuinely interested in other people's stories, dude.
Yeah, I want to see it. I want to see, is it the same as me? Is it harder?
Yeah.
Or was it easier for them?
And like you said, you want to hear the story. Like, what are you going through? Because it's not always like, you know, even some of the most positive people I've had on this show, and they are positive people and they work really hard, but they're going through really tough things, dude, and they were able to be open about those things.
Yeah.
And there's something really valuable about that.
Yeah, and it's tough, especially in a world like we have. You know, sometimes you come across positive people and negative people, but I would say the positive outweighs it if outweighs all the negative if you don't let all the negative outweigh it. So
right, the minute I start acting like, oh, I deserve, you know, like you start, I don't know how to say it, but it's like the minute I start getting negative and like thinking like,
I get in a place like
I should be farther along than I am, or this, or, you know, I'm like, I saw this Kevin Hart thing where he's talking about like, it's so easy to grind every day and work super hard when you feel like you're making progress. He's like, but here's the hard part. You have to be able to grind and work hard and put that effort in when it feels like you're getting nowhere, and keep doing that. And that's the thing that makes the difference. So I think we all get on this, like, you know, there's times where we're killing it, we're going up, and things are getting better, and we're seeing results, or if it's, you know, this, or we're seeing progress, or we're making more money, or we're doing this and things. But it's those times when shit's just not fucking going. You're not budging it an inch, but you still have to show up every day and put that work in. That's what I've been finding recently is like a superpower, and you have to do it.
Yep.
You know
And
what I'm
then when
saying?
you're going through a tough time, what is this? One of the mentors asked another mentor in an organization I was part of before, what is this thing about bad things happening to good people? This is pretty harsh. And if you're spiritual,
It does
if you're
happen.
a Christian, and the pastor said it's because they got to get on their knees to get back up. I'm like, ooh, that's pretty bold.
Well, it's almost like sometimes you need to be humbled a little bit, and so it's like you have to have a test.
So
you know,
the
it's like-
danger is when you feel like you're arrived, and you got it figured out. That's a bad.
you
place
never want to be
go.
too full of yourself.
Yeah, that's
dude.
why I always like you saw what we did last weekend.
Right.
Like I purposely get myself and my athletes around my coaches. I do a select few depending on who it is. You know, obviously sometimes I'm selective of that because they got to be ready for my coach. They got to be ready for that type of coaching because I get. You know, there's a reason why my coach has created a lot of pros, and, you know, I happen to be one of those recipients. But as soon as I start taking it for granted and not going back and getting consulted and, like, refocusing what I'm supposed to be doing, I look at some of the stuff he's teaching. I'm like, ooh, okay, that's what I've been missing. Man, I already knew that.
Yeah.
I was just confirming it. So, but then
It's a good reminder, though.
I get confirmation right in front of my clients, and my clients get to see me get cussed out in front of them.
Well, they see you get humbled as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. A lot of the time, if you're a coach and your athletes don't know that you're still
Human.
in continuing education and you're not continuing to be mentored, I think it's going to be very hard for your clients to listen to you.
So like the idea that they're going to see that even you, as accomplished as you are, you're not a finished product. You're never a finished product. You always have to keep working.
You never are, because
you can always learn more. You can always be better.
You could be a better dad. You could be a better entrepreneur. You could be a better coach. You could be a better athlete. You could be a better person.
Right.
And then there's obviously we all have our moments. You have your little spats, and what I hate about it is when people judge you for it. I'm like, that I was just having a bad day, man.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
and that happens, dude.
Yeah, and then I give people the same grace. Oh, maybe I just caught him on a bad day, and then this person actually turns out to be a really cool guy. I was like, whoa, I was pretty wrong about this guy. So
man, I think that too, because I remember one time we had this a customer back at the bar that I used to work at before the one I'm working at now, and she is she's awesome lady, super nice, and one time she came in and she just snipped at somebody, and like something was wrong. It just snipped at him, it was like, and I don't know. She just whatever she got mad about, like, well, this needs to be like this, and she got like mad and she yelled at one of the people, and I think they were kind of like thinking like, well, now we've seen her true colors. She's really just a bitch or whatever, But I was thinking, like, I don't think that's true. I think, like, we don't know what she was going through that day. If I have seen her most of the time always being a great person, and she has one bad day, like, who knows what she was going through that caused her. Clearly, she wasn't in a good place if she was going to snip at somebody like that. So I was kind of, like, thinking the other thing, like, I think she is a good person. She just had a bad day. Who knows what she was going through? And I'm not going to judge her based on that one bad experience. If she was like that every day, then I'd be like, yeah.
Sure. And I am, forgive me, I'm a little guilty of, judging that person, because I was like, man, because sometimes that first impression is the lasting impression.
True.
Because you're like, damn, fuck that guy, fuck that girl.
Yeah, if that would have been the first impression of her, that wouldn't have been very good.
Yeah. So, but at the same time, people, we're in the land of second chances, right? So, you got to give people grace.
Give them grace. If it's I don't know how many chances you give, but
yeah, I mean, if it's something petty, obviously it's
I believe people can always change.
But if it's malicious, it has something to do with your family.
You ever like hold on to any of that shit just to like?
That's hard, man.
Sometimes I tell people it's like kind of good to hold on to a little bit of shit.
Yeah. Well, that's
you.
That's what keeps us motivated, though.
Yeah, you can use it.
Yeah. So
like proving somebody wrong.
Yeah. Either proving somebody wrong, or we call it vindication. Yeah. So.
And I've had other dudes on here be like, well, but in reality, you got to let that stuff go and all that. I'm like,
ooh, that's hard.
I'm like, yeah, but sometimes I need a little of that.
That's
what keeps me going.
I'm a Christian too, and I'm all for forgiving, but sometimes it's hard to forget. Man.
Sometimes you need to hold on to just a little bit of that because it keeps you sharp.
Keeps that chip.
It keeps that chip on your shoulder, which makes you work hard, dude.
Yeah. What makes a sword sharp, right? Heat and pressure. So you make it hard and heat it up to sharpen it up.
Yeah.
You put it in the fire.
Yeah. Oh, I know a lot of successful people that they had a chip on their shoulder. And that's kind of what made them successful, dude.
Yep.
So I'm saying like, be healthy, but sometimes you got to use some of that stuff as fire,
Yeah.
Keeps you passionate.
How's your PT business going? How's it growing?
Dude, it's it's just starting. I've had like 3 clients. I had one who was a great client, showed up every time, and then basically like it was a thing where like his roommate didn't pay rent, so now he doesn't have enough money to like keep training. Yeah, it's I can see it's gonna be tough, like dude. It's gonna be tough, but you just gotta keep
your pipeline solid. That's all I'd say.
Yeah.
Message people on Instagram. Put yourself out there.
Right. I'm not gonna give up on it at all. I had a couple great clients. The training itself went good. I never had, I was able to make good programs for these people, and even the other guy, I still have one client, but he's been sick a lot lately. He has I think he has type 1 diabetes, and sometimes, and he's like, I'm so sorry. He's like, I love your training though. So he likes the training. It's just that he's just not been able to show up.
Right.
But I think it's going to keep growing, dude. And, eventually I'll probably get like insurance and everything, and then I can maybe start training at some of these other gyms and maybe even get some clients funneled to me that way. But yeah, I really enjoy it. Like it would the two clients I had, I loved it. I would get up in the morning, go meet them there, put them through the workout, and
Yeah.
neither of them were.
Were you scared to start?
It was a little intimidating to start because it's like I've been lifting since like 2002 myself, and I always say that it's like funny because it's like, I haven't done like 20 shows like you, but I've been in a gym.
Mm-hmm.
There hasn't been 1 week of my life outside of a gym since 2002.
So what'll really help you too is my wife helped me with this is continue to post your journey, and then people see your body change.
Yes.
And your changes will speak for itself.
Right, and that's the thing too. Like more stuff like leading up to the show too, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get better with that. Like we've always talked a lot about social media on here. Like I want to leading up to the show. The show should help a lot too. Like I said, I don't want to think past the show yet.
But
I'm kind of like.
I mean,
my brain's already thinking like.
Some of us are thinking about the post-show food. Everybody's talking about.
I'm definitely gonna do that.
Polly's, cookies from the East Coast. They're talking about.
I'm gonna go with you, dude. Wherever you're going.
Coming up PDX.
Yeah. I've already had so many people like.
So
that's gonna be Saturday night, dude. Okay, so I gotta tell my friends because I think your show's Friday.
So
but then Saturday night you're gonna go out to eat with me.
Yeah, we could do the whole squad or whoever.
Yeah, whoever's out there.
Yeah, so I'm out of respect for my competitors, I'm probably not going to eat till Saturday because I'm done on Friday.
But for you, dude, that's probably not even hard, is it?
No,
like it's just one more day.
No. If you think about other people before yourself, then
Well, I think there's something to be said about that too. We're going after these pursuits for ourselves, and you're talking about religion and stuff like that too. One thing I've noticed is like, if you do start helping more people, it comes back to you.
It does.
You know what I'm saying?
So, and then the thing about that is you got to be. I think it's really important that the ones that are, obviously they obviously stay with positive vibes. They have integrity. You can trust your family. Yep. With them, if you can, keep those people around. But there's a certain point where you got to burn that bridge with certain people.
Yeah, if they're just bad egg or something. But
a lot of time, though, I would say they burn it with you or me. It's not us that burned it with them.
You don't really.
We burned it with them if we were really, if our intentions were really really bad. If we have ill intentions, then it's just gonna bite us in the asses. Yeah. But I think the key part is to keep all those bridges hedged all together because you're going to need those people someday.
Right.
And I'm not trying to say just act selfishly because you're trying to get what you want. But at the same time, it's like do unto others as they would do unto you, right? So like you treat people good,
Yeah, definitely. There's also like, the thought where protecting your time, dude. Like you have to say no sometimes and shit. Like
you remember Heath Milne?
Yeah, totally.
He's like, it's all about that dinner after the show.
It's all about it, baby.
Yeah, here I'll put him on.
Yeah, what are we gonna be getting?
So,
I want some. Oh shit! There goes the hot sauce, bro.
Everything. So
yeah, like so I have this buddy named Tyler, and he's like a foodie, like big time foodie, and so like someday after my show, I have to go out to eat with him. He's been wanting to take me out to eat because I don't want to go crazy after the show. I don't want to gain a bunch of weight.
If you eat,
but if
you eat Sunday and Monday and then go back, you're fine.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
so like I'm gonna take, I'm gonna eat with you after the show, and then I'm gonna take one day and go out with my coworker Kayla and Tyler.
Yeah.
And we're gonna I don't know where we're gonna go.
Okay, if you want a good place, there's this place I took Jordan and his family on his first show. Yeah. After the Emerald Cup, his first Emerald Cup back.
His first show?
2016.
Dude, that's wild.
So he's like, where do you want to go? I was like, dude, I'll tell you where you should go, and we all went. I think he had 20 family members went. It's like, well, you go where you think we should go. And we had this place. I think it was a 520 Bar and Grill in downtown Bellevue.
Okay.
You want to notate that, Heath? So
There you go, dude.
He says, "What's up?" By the way.
Yeah.
And he said, I go, "You need to get pulled pork nachos at 520 Bar and Grill on Main. It's the size of 3 entrees. Everybody that's on prep now is probably salivating watching this. But I could eat a whole entree by myself. I could probably even do 2.
Oh yeah, dude. Especially
So
like
the guac and the cheese on that, whoo!
yeah. That's
And
some good stuff,
520 Bar and Grill.
yeah, nachos. Like I haven't had nachos in like.
It's literally 10 blocks from the Maiden Broward Center.
Okay. So that might be the place.
You're getting a hotel, right?
I don't know, dude. It's so close. I could just sleep at home.
You're sure? But
the hotel's fun, isn't
it keeps you closer, and that way, you know.
It's kind of part of the whole experience, though, right? Like you get
that way it makes it easier for your coach to find you. So if you're in close proximity, that's why we still get a hotel, even though we live not that far from you either.
Yeah.
We do it because it's going to be a pain to come back and forth from the house.
Well, it might be just kind of fun to do the whole experience like that. Like in pro wrestling too. Same thing. We would, always get hotel rooms and shit, and like, then you'd party with some of the wrestlers that were there, like some of the more famous dudes.
It's gonna be fun, and there's gonna be a bunch of pros there, so it's gonna be fun. And I'm from the outskirts of Washington, coming from probably across the country, so it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
So Heath said he'll be there on Saturday to cheer you on, bro.
Dude, I really appreciate that, man.
Where does he live now?
I don't know. I mean, I see him on Facebook all the time.
Say it, Heath, so we can see it on the live. So
he's got the wife and everything now. I think they got married, right?
He's married? I didn't know that.
Girlfriend, wife, one or the other. He's doing good. Looks like he's doing good though.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So he said he lives in Snoqualmie.
Snoqualmie.
Yeah.
How far away is that?
That is 45 minutes. Well, from here, about 30 minutes. 45 minutes away from where I live.
Okay, so not too far.
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said
married in September.
He got married last September.
Last September. Oh, congratulations, man. I thought so, yeah.
Good job, bro.
Yeah, that's what I thought through Facebook.
Nice.
But, dude, that's going to be dope. Yeah, so, like, we'll go out to eat. But, yeah, with my buddy Tyler, I was like, we're definitely going out to eat. He's a foodie, dude.
I'm a foodie.
I'm kind of a foodie.
And any bodybuilder is not a foodie. There's something wrong with you.
I think so, too.
Wrong with you.
You got to love food.
So I was thinking, this place, maybe I'll have Lorraine order it, there's this place that has deep dish pizza in Wallingford. It's Chicago style.
Dude, I haven't had pizza in like
so it's deep dish.
Years,
deep
probably.
dish, and it's so cheesy it'll make you pass out.
Yeah.
You're probably gonna want to be in close to a hotel when you do it. So the cheese is like this thick. Oh, it's dope.
I don't even know if I want to be around people. I just want to like go home and hide after that meal.
No, you'll be fine. As long as you go back, as long as you go back to your diet on Monday, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll be fine. You're right.
So and then just after you do your reverse and when you decide to do something again,
I'm gonna definitely do reverse, dude, because like I hate those horror stories of people gaining like 40 pounds.
I've gained 30 pounds at 20 out of 22 shows.
So I need to learn from that.
Yeah, don't do what I do, please.
Right.
There was a time on the plane where I could not breathe and I had to get an oxygen mask.
Because you just had ate so much.
Yeah,
Or you just had been like eating too much.
I just kept eating and didn't stop. I was eating, pancake breakfast. I was eating everything out of my friend's fridge in Alaska. And then by the time we got to the plane, my stomach was so full that I had a hard time breathing. I had to get an oxygen mask.
Dude,
while we're on the
insane,
plane,
bro.
Yeah, so
that's insane.
So for anybody listening,
don't do that.
You could die.
Yeah, don't do that, man.
So they call it edema.
Mm-hmm.
So because you're not supposed to go from 7% body fat to 30 pounds heavier in
like 2 weeks.
People have done it in 4 days.
Dude, that's
people
insane.
have done 50 in a week.
No, I'll be able to get right back on my meal plan.
Yeah.
So I did that with Christmas, Christmas Day. So like, I dieted. I was on my meal plan.
Yeah.
And then had Christmas here with my friends Kaylee and Steve.
Okay.
And I just took the day off from my meal plan. Whatever they ate, I ate it.
The cheat meal.
Yeah. They just a cheat day, honestly.
Okay.
So they had cookies, they had charcuterie board.
Right.
And you know what's funny is like I was so lean at the time that the day after that I woke up and I felt fine.
Gotcha.
It didn't even like fuck with me.
Yeah, it's probably because you've been regimented for that long that it didn't really bother you. But
Right. So I have the same idea. You're right. Give yourself like one.
once it gets to a week, though, you're in trouble.
But I don't. Yeah, I don't want to turn that into like eating. Like
Because-
dude, I'm just not gonna do that to myself. Like,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm actually very passionate about this stuff. You know, like there's a reason I do it. It's like mental health. I want my body to be healthy. I want to look good. I want to feel good. So I'm not. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Definitely, I want to go out with my buddy Tyler. I want to go out with you guys and enjoy some food because I've been, not able to do that for a very long time, and it's gonna get worse over the next.
Yeah, there's a bunch of burger places. There's
Gotta have a burger, bro.
There's Broiler Bay Burgers, old school mom and pop place. There's Lunchbox Laboratories.
I mean, I fucking love burgers, dude.
I do.
Yeah, burger or fries, they're the
Yeah.
shit. You know what else I love? Those sushi.
Oh
I
yeah.
gotta get some sushi.
The rolls or the
like
clean
sushi
ones?
rolls, and I want the
yeah.
deep fried shit, dude. I want the shit
Oh,
that's not healthy.
the tempura.
Yeah, like they fucking deep fry. We had this one that was like the bacon wrap, like bacon one and shit.
Yeah.
Like, dude. So like a
Bacon
burger,
cheese salad.
fries, some sushi, and I gotta have some ice cream.
Oh yeah,
my only
strawberry
goal.
ice cream's for me.
Yeah.
Strawberry ice cream, and then a blizzard with lots of Oreos in it.
Oh fuck yeah, dude. Other than
This
that,
podcast is all about food now.
it has been a few times. Because you're right. I think a lot of bodybuilders are foodies.
Mm-hmm.
It was so funny. Even like when I had Emma on, she was talking about her first show, how she really didn't take
Adhere.
it serious enough. You know,
Oh yeah, she cheated a lot.
she cheated a lot. She said, and she's like, I could tell I cheated a lot. And then she got better and better as she did more shows. You know, but she was telling me like one time it was like only a couple weeks out from her show, and she just like lost it and ate like 2 boxes of Girl Scout cookies. And like
What?
went to the gym and was like crying to her boyfriend, like I just fucked everything up, and like, so she said she had to work on that, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because she's kind of a foodie too.
Yeah.
But she was a good guest, dude. She was fun.
She's
yeah.
sweet.
Yeah,
I've never really had a chance to talk to her in person a lot, but we've always had good vibes and stuff. So
she
so
talked a lot about
I coached
getting-
her coach, so and
Yep.
posing stuff. So
Which coach is that?
that was Haley Medea. You need to get her on here too.
okay.
She's a lifestyle and diet coach too. So
Right.
awesome woman. So
It's cool hearing from like the bikini competitors, like how they get so influenced by certain people too.
Mm-hmm.
Like who's the pro right now? That's like is it Jen Dory?
there's Jen Dory, there's Lorly Trapados, there's Janet Leog, there's Maureen Blanquisco representing all the Filipinos.
Hell yeah.
And also obviously Janet's Filipino too.
Right.
So,
So it's dope hearing more about that, dude.
Yeah, and then you probably haven't heard of Daraja.
No.
Yeah, Daraja's she's like a posing queen. She's like probably the most popular posing coach, and she's a top Olympian right now too.
Okay.
She coaches one of my friends, Samantha Bartley, who just turned pro at the NPC Nationals. You need to get her on here, by the way. Samantha will be at. I'll get.
Dude, I'm gonna make cards and pass up podcast
Yeah,
cards.
podcast cards.
Just at the Emerald Cup, dude, because I would love to get all these. You just learn so much every time you have these guests.
Yeah, we're
on.
having a seminar in about a week and a half on Saturday, March 11th.
Yeah.
At the Linwood Ballroom Dance Studio. The first portion is going to be 1 to 2:30. I call it the barefoot categories.
Right.
The ones that don't have to wear heels: women's physique, men's physique, classic physique, and bodybuilding.
Yep.
And then the second portion is going to be from 3 to 4:30. That's going to be bikini, wellness, and figure.
Dude,
So
imagine if you had to wear heels.
I've had to do. I have my own heels to demo for my own clients.
I was gonna say you
Yeah.
probably had to, right?
Yeah, yeah. So, because you do need to know how it feels, and you can't teach anybody that.
Because that's
you
gotta
can't
be
model
so
it,
weird, dude. Like they get their feet stuck in those things.
Yeah, and then you're at a 45-degree angle constantly for like at least 30 minutes to an hour
Yeah.
for that day. So.
Well, like think about
it's
when
a
girls
long
go
time.
out wearing heels. Like they're out like that like all night.
Yeah, and
wild.
they usually kick them off right, and they start wearing tennis shoes because it's so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an interesting
Yeah.
thing.
So. But yeah, we talked a lot about food now, but
Well, yeah, the food thing. I know like a lot of bodybuilders, man. They're into it, and just hearing like, I feel like you get strength in these stories of hearing people like how they've like messed up with food, and like ways that they've used to avoid it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I keep telling people to use the rewind button.
Yeah.
You know, so like if you're about to make a mistake, just rewind. Like pretend you made the mistake.
That's a good one.
You know what I'm saying? Pretend you fucked up and you just
Yeah.
ate some shit you weren't supposed to eat, and now you feel like shit about it, and you ruined your diet, and you were like, man, I wish I had a rewind button. Just rewind before you put it down.
That's something my pastor reiterated.
You can do it for bad
in his head.
behaviors too.
So he said, he's like, like the temptation. You see a woman or a girl out there looks amazing or whatever.
Yeah.
You reiterate in your head what it would be like to make
that mistake.
Life miserable
Yeah.
for your wife,
for yourself,
your
kids,
daughters, your family, the people who look up to you, and you repeat that in your head. That's the rewind.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, that 5 seconds isn't so hot anymore.
It's being able to say no to temptations,
yeah.
dude. So 5 seconds of pleasure of eating a cupcake is not worth it.
Yep.
You know what's worth it? Having the body you want.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yep.
It's putting long-term goals over short-term goals.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. It is so weird, but it's so true. Like if you think about a lot of things in life like that, you start making better decisions.
Yep.
You know?
And you got to be kind of ice cold about it. You can't be emotional. Oh, this is so hard or whatever.
It's not really hard.
Yeah, and then so like you even have...
It is, but it isn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like not hard if you just do what you just said. If you just give yourself no fucking option.
Yep. And then the other part too is when you deal with either people dying in your family or deceased. So I've had that happen several times already, being not only a competitor but also a coach. In the same couple months leading up to a show like the Emerald Cup, I've had a couple family members pass away.
Just randomly.
And you still got to do your thing. I mean, you still got to keep grinding because...
You can't be like, wow, I'm emotional, so I'm going to eat this pizza.
Yeah. And then the other part is, well, I got to pull out. I can't coach these guys anymore because, I gotta take care of the family. Well, they wouldn't have wanted you to do that anyways because our whole way...
Well, they
the
would
whole
want
reason why we're living here, right, is to impact people. So, you can't take your money with you when you die, right?
Right.
But you can take good people with you. Mm-hmm. So it's how you leave your mark, I guess.
And the decisions you make will be remembered. Yeah.
And that's the reason why I think all this working and bringing people on lives or doing lives with you or constantly helping other people or going out of your way to encourage other people. I think the goal is to make as many people smile as possible before you leave this world, and I think that's
impact people in a good way, right?
Yeah. So do you want to leave your mark in a good way, or you're either gonna leave a lasting bad mark?
Right. I think it does matter too, man.
Name,
like
so.
I don't know. A lot of people get this weird thing where they feel like life is just like meaningless or like I'm like I think it matters what we do. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like and if you feel like it doesn't, just make it matter to you.
Yep.
I'm always like telling people that like just like to find purpose, just give yourself purpose.
Yep.
Like find something that's a good pursuit for you. Like you're saying too, like work is like it's not even
it's not even work.
It's not like work for you. So it's like
it's only work when you're maybe working with somebody difficult.
Yeah, but you know how many people they never find that mark? Like they never find that thing in life that like makes them feel like that.
Yep.
So, when there's a lot of people that like if you find that thing in life, man, you're lucky. And then like you said, you got to be like thankful for it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, you get lucky when you work hard and you're prepared. You're prepared and you work hard.
It's not just luck, but it's working hard, but it's also luck. It's like a lot of things.
Yeah, it presents itself if you're ready for it. So, there's a podcast. I like watching a lot of the different podcasts. If you look at I Am Athlete or Pivot podcast with Ryan Clark, some of the old Pittsburgh Steelers, they had this one gal on who has her own show. Her name's Tamron Hall.
Yeah.
And what did she say on there? She was like, sometimes, because we don't pick who we were born into. There's some kids that are smarter than all of us, right? That don't have the opportunities that we have.
Resources, opportunities.
Yeah, you don't pick the parents you're born into. So, it doesn't, sometimes it's a little bit of luck too. So, but like I said, you have to recognize it when it's in front of you. So, like, if you had amazing people in front of you, like amazing mentors, whoever that is, and they're put in your life for a reason, you have two options. You could blow it, or you could nourish it to the fullest. So you have two options there. So if you nourish it, you're going to be an amazing human being. If you don't, you better pray another one comes.
Another opportunity
Yeah.
or another mentor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like you said, being prepared for when opportunity. So like if you stay ready and you stay prepared, dude, like it's kind of weird because like I've always felt like that too. It's like, you know, even I haven't wrestled a match since like, you know, 2016, but there's like this weird thing where like I feel like, and now I have bodybuilding to like put it into, but I feel like I have to stay ready. You know what I'm saying? For
Always.
anything. Like I want my body to always be ready or close to ready for anything.
So success happens when opportunity and preparedness meet. So
Yeah.
it might be the right situation. Like there was, I would say, last year
Right.
was only the second time I've ever placed in a show in the pros. So I was going up against three big, genetically gifted black dudes.
Yes.
And they're all outweigh me by at least 50 to 100 pounds.
Right.
And I beat two of them.
And no matter how hard you work, dude, that's fucking impressive that you beat two of them.
Yeah, so, and they're legends, too. And these aren't just...
So that's where we get talking about genetics play a role, too. There's certain things that no matter how hard you work, you can't be taller. You can't be, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Nope, I'm not going to be a basketball player unless, you know, I had Spud Webb or Muggsy Bogues' skills at 5'3", being able to dunk.
Oh, dude, there's some of those
Yeah.
ones. Oh, well, now, dude, there's people getting those fucking, like, like they're getting, like, their legs, like, enlarged or whatever, like, to be taller and shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's some surgery, but it's got to be just, like, super painful, bro. Like,
Stilts.
well, like, they cut your fucking femur, I think, and, like, extend it. So it's, like, that can't be
Yeah.
comfortable, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's funny.
I know, it's like, I think I saw that on, like, well, that was, like, that South Park episode where Kyle did that. He wanted to play basketball, you know?
Kyle.
Kyle on South Park.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
I thought
They took the teachers,
I
like,
thought you were talking about somebody we knew.
oh, no. This was, like, this is just, like, South Park, but, yeah. Yeah, I don't know, dude. That shit's funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. You just got to work with what you got, right?
For sure. How are things at the bar? Are you
Still at the bar, dude. We just had this.
anything getting to you?
No, I'm pretty good. I've gone through that where I kind of learned my lesson with that stuff. So I've kind of learned how to, you know, because it's my means of making money. So I've learned how to, because there's been some times where, like, because I'm a dude that has, like, worked really hard in my life a lot. There is this thing where I do get this, like, low tolerance for, like, really entitled people that, like...
Well, you're in Redmond.
Yeah,
so.
well, you know, but it's like, I can't expect other people to
You got
have,
a lot
like...
of softies there?
Yeah, when people are a little soft or weak or, like...
No, I meant Microsofties.
Oh, Microsofties, yeah. Sometimes I get a little annoyed by it, like, that it's like, God, why are you being such a pussy? Like, life, there's so many worse things that could happen to you than, like, what you're pissed off about. Like, you're that fucking weak that, like, you can't even handle this minor inconvenience in your life without, like, blowing up and acting like a complete fucking spoiled infant, you know?
Yeah.
But then I got to realize, like, you know...
Have you...
So I've worked on that.
How bad has it gotten to the point where you had to, like, really walk out? Otherwise, you're going to do something you were going to regret.
Right. I've had to walk away from customers before, and
Okay.
I'll tell one of my coworkers, this is rare, only a few times.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you deal with them, I can't. Because I'm going to, like, blow up.
I did that one time when somebody was insulting my integrity.
Yeah.
I think it was when I was selling phones. He called me a liar. And
Yeah.
I literally pictured body slamming
You're like,
this guy.
somebody else deal with this.
So I, without even saying a word, I just walked off and went to the back and sat down.
Yeah, you got to cool off sometimes.
Yeah, and my manager was like, I apologized to my manager. I said, hey, I'm sorry. I was about to do something that was probably going to get me fired, so
Right.
I had to go in the back and cool off. And she's like, no, you did the right thing.
Yeah, I've gotten good. I've gotten better at that, dude. So, like, the only other time was, like, there was this one time where this, like, we do like bar service or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And some dude like went and sat outside, waiting for somebody to come to his table, but we don't have table service. Like you go up to the bar, like a coffee shop.
What's it called again?
Post-stock.
Post-stock.
So like a coffee shop. You go up to the bar, you
Yeah.
look at the menu, you order your beer, you take it back, you sit at your table. When you want another beer, you go back up to the bar and order it. Mm-hmm. Well, this guy had like sat outside waiting for someone to come to his table, and no one ever came because that's not how it works,
Right.
And he came in and he was all pissed off about it. And he's like, well, I waited for 10 minutes and nobody came. And I just looked at him and I was like, well, yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
And I didn't even mean it in a mean way. I just meant like, don't do that. Come up to the bar,
Yeah.
And he like got so offended. He wrote this like review, like the bartender was buff and arrogant. And he like,
buff and arrogant.
and I was like, oh shit, I'm like taking that as a compliment, bro. I'm like,
He said buff.
yeah, he called me buff and arrogant. And I'm like, well, shit, okay. But, and my boss even kind of laughed about it. And then there was like another time where these guys didn't pick up their trash and I got mad at them and they wrote a bad Yelp review. So I realized like, oh, I'm like to some people kind of big and scary. They're going to judge me based on my looks alone. So I'm like, I can't afford to get my job like bad Yelp reviews or like, because everything's like that now. You know what I'm saying? So I just kind of
lives in the internet.
I came to this realization where like, okay, these people are weaker and softer than me. I can't expect them to be like able to handle things. Like whatever the worst thing that's happened to them in life is the worst thing that's happened. They've never been through real adversity in their life. So like, one little thing's wrong in their life and they act like it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
I'm like, that reflects on them, not me. So I was able to kind of flip that and also realize like, hey, my job is a really great job. I work for a really great boss, one of the best bosses I've ever had, one of the best managers I've ever had. And I'm like, I'm not going to do anything to compromise their business, and also that's where I make my money. So I've been able to like, it's just not worth it at the end of the day. So I just have been, like I said, and then if it does get bad enough, I'll just walk away.
Yeah.
I can tell my other coworkers like, hey, you deal with that.
Yeah.
And they'll do it because they know.
Was that the worst situation you dealt with?
Right. I mean, and
Was there anything worse?
No. I mean, and there's been times where like I've been that person for my coworker where like I've had a girl who works where like guys are being creepy or they're making her uncomfortable, or they're just, I can tell that she's like uncomfortable with them. So I'll just step in and be like, hey guys, what can I get for you? I'll get in front of her and kind of like send her like, you don't have to deal with these guys. I'll deal with them for you because I can tell that they're bothering you.
Yeah.
So I'll do that too. And so you can do that. You can help your coworkers in that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise, no. I mean, it's just like you get hit on a lot. You get some wild ladies in there.
Oh, you did?
Oh yeah. Like there was a big group of ladies. They have this like, it was like a workout, like postpartum workout group. So it's like all these, so like after their pregnancies, they like help each other get back in shape. So it was this like big group of like, mid-20s to like late, like mid-50s women. Just like all this big group. And I like just walked, they had a bunch of food there. And my coworker's like, she's like, will you go load me up a plate of food? Because it was the back room was packed. And like, I wasn't going to eat because I'm on prep, And I'm like, I'll go get you some food. And so I like go back there. And it was a weird moment. Like I walked in and they all just looked at me. And like the one lady, she's like, are you the stripper? And I was like, oh shit. I'm like, and then the other lady's like, you want to get some food? It's over here. So I went through, grabbed the food, and I don't know. It was funny though, dude.
That's funny.
They were just like, some wild ladies. They're having fun, bro.
Was it like,
the one was like a 50-year-old lady.
Were they older?
Yeah, the one was 50.
Was it like
she was
company
like,
party or what?
Yeah, she was like saying something to my coworker, like, man, I'd like to have a tall drink of him or something like that.
Oh, jeez.
And so she was the one, I think, that when I walked in there, she's like, are you the stripper? And she was just fun. Dude, she was like I don't know, I'd say like mid-50s, maybe 60-year-old lady. Like,
yeah.
She was like...
Are you taking stuff off?
What's that?
Are you taking stuff off?
Oh, yeah, I was like, you know what? How much money you guys talking? I'm like, let's do this. I was like, I could use some money right now. Shit. That's what all my coworkers were like, well, why didn't you just strip, bro?
My God.
I'm like, I should have, like, I'm like, I guess I'm not above that,
That's funny.
It's been slow season at work.
So that keeps you lighthearted when you're prepping.
Oh, yeah, dude.
So
I like stuff like that. It's funny.
That way you're
I think it's different when like girls get hit on by creepy dudes in a bar.
Yeah.
Than like me. If I go get hit on by some like funny like 50, 60-year-old lady.
Yeah.
That's flattering to me. You know, like it doesn't scare me or intimidate me. Yeah. If a younger girl is a bartender and she gets hit on by some creepy older guy, that's gonna.
Well, that's
different.
That person's probably most likely bigger than them. So.
Well, right, bigger, stronger.
Yeah,
it's a male. She's a female. Like that's just gonna be different.
Yeah.
So like it's whatever. It's kind of funny, dude. Like bars are funny to work in.
I've never worked.
People get wild in bars, dude. Like. Well, they're drinking, they're having fun, they just get wild. Bro.
You think people find each other, find their love of their life in the bar ever?
I think sometimes.
Is that possible?
I think sometimes we see a lot of people. We see a lot of people dating.
Really?
Like on Tinder dates and stuff.
Oh, they meet
like,
at the bar.
They'll meet up and they'll be like,
"Oh,
are you? Oh, yeah, it's you. Okay, like they're checking."
Or what's this new one? It's called Bumble.
Yeah, Bumble, where the girl has to swipe first.
Gotcha. Interesting.
So it's kind of nice. Well, I mean, it's nice because if you're a guy, it's like if you match with a girl, you already know she liked you. She already swiped. She swiped first. Or is it something like she messages first? I can't remember.
No idea. I've never had to be on any of those apps. So.
Yeah.
So this is how I met my wife. Hi, how are you? I'm Mark, and your name is.
Well, that's like the way people used to do it, and you guys were like high school sweethearts, right?
College. We met actually at Bellevue Community College, just down the street from me.
Well, they say like there's probably some benefit to the old-fashioned way versus.
Well, you learn how to communicate better
because like nowadays people don't know how to.
You're not in a computer.
Yeah, like people are scared to even talk to people in person.
Yep, that's why it's weird sometimes. When you have somebody that you've been talking to online,
and then you see them in person, you guys can't even talk.
Especially if it has something to do with bodybuilding.
Right.
And they're being all awkward. I'm like, hey, what's up? And they're like being all awkward. But
online, they're all like super communicative.
I was like, hey, you okay? I was like, you know what? I was thinking in my head, I was like, we need to take away these damn phones, cell phones, and these computers because people can't even look at each other in the eye anymore.
No.
Oh, hey, how are you?
It is bad,
no
dude.
eye contact. That's like giving somebody a soft handshake.
That's bad.
I don't.
Did you know that was a pro wrestling thing? Did I ever tell you that?
Soft handshake?
Yeah, so like back in the day, the old school guys would do this like soft handshake.
Ew.
And it was so it was like meant to so this is an old pro wrestling story.
Yeah.
The old school guys would do this like soft handshake, and it was to signal to the person that if I'm in the ring with you, I'm going to work very light and I'm not going to hurt you. It was a worked handshake to show like
I did not know that. So that came from wrestling.
But then like later on guys like Shawn Michaels and like Scott Hall and these guys in the 90s, the guys I grew up watching, like Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels.
Bret Hart. Yeah,
they were all like, why are we shaking hands with this limp fucking... They're like, fuck that. So they started shaking hands like
strong,
firm, like how you're supposed to shake.
Yeah.
And they got rid of that old school like wrestling handshake. So, but every once in a while, dude, you'd be in like... You'd meet somebody in wrestling and you'd go to shake their hands and it would be a soft, limp handshake.
And like,
because they still had that old school handshake.
Yeah.
And I'd just be like, fuck that, bro. Like, we're shaking hands, Yeah. Like, it's weird. I don't know.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you got to have a good handshake.
Well, you can tell a lot about somebody the way they shake your hand, in my opinion.
So, well, that's what they say, dude.
So it's either too strong, too dominant. Like those guys who try to smash your hand.
Yeah.
And there are people that it's just...
Dude, what about this? So I got this girl at work, so to go to give me this, she'll be like, snail. Like she'll do shit. Or she'll be like this. She'll go like that. Do it again. She'll be like, jellyfish.
Why?
I don't know, because like she just
like...
Is
that like psych when you...
She's fucking with me.
So like, is that like when you...
So like I think we're going in for a fist bump, and she's just like fucking snail.
Yeah.
She's fucking with me, dude.
That's...
All right, everybody, it is time to take a short break for our sponsors. The Nicky Free Podcast is now brought to you by Manscaped. They are the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Their products are precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped's Performance Package, the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. So join over 7 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. So it is 20% off and free shipping worldwide with the code NickyFit at manscaped.com. So the thing about it is, like, when you're, you're trying to shave your balls, you got like a date or something, you don't know where things are going to go, but you don't want to be like showing up all messy down there. You want to show up all clean. You want to be looking good down there. You know what I'm saying? So like, we've all done that. You get a shaver out, you go to shave yourself, and what happens every time? You cut your balls, man. And it's no good when you cut your balls. You start bleeding all over your ball sack. You got blood going everywhere. You get it cleaned up. You go on the date. And, like, obviously, you're a high-performance male. So, like, things are going good for you in the date. Stuff starts going well. And next thing you know, like, one thing leads to another. But then the thing is, you whip it out. And, like, there's a big thing. Like, your balls are all cut up. And it's, like, all sore down there. And it's, like, such a turnoff, So it's, like, you don't want that to happen to you, like, you don't want a big open wound on your ball sack when you're out on a date. Like, that's just no way to be. So check out the Performance Package 4.0 has arrived, and it is a game changer. So inside this package, you'll find the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, which is right here. And look at these things, man. Manscaped's products are so aesthetically pleasing looking. Like, the design on it, it looks like something that Batman would use. It's like so sleek. It's all black. It's just like aesthetically pleasing to look at. They've done such a good job. So this is the Lawnmower 4.0. The other thing that comes in the performance package is the Weed Whacker, nose hair and ear trimmer, because it's like, I see this all the time. You're talking to somebody, and it's like they take care of themselves. They eat healthy. They work out. They're trying to look good and everything. But then it's like you look at their nose, and it's a bunch of nose hair sticking out. Bro, take care of that. Like, why do you want to do that? Use the Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer, because, like, clean that shit up, dude. Nobody wants to see that, man. Inside the package, you're also going to find the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant, because you want your balls to smell good, the Crop Reviver Toner, and then also the Boxer Briefs that come with. And I'm probably going to take some scantily clad photos in these, because, if you've seen my Instagram, the leaner I get, the more, like, scantily clad photos and videos I take. So I'm going to be rocking these Manscaped things, showing off the abs, trying to look sexy online. I'll be taking some videos in these. It also comes with the travel bag, so you can carry it all with you, so that when you're on the go, you got to be looking good when you're on the go. So let's talk a little bit about the Lawnmower 4.0. This trimmer is the future of grooming, and dare I say, the greatest ball hair trimmer ever. It's a 4th generation trimmer. It features cutting edge ceramic blades to reduce grooming accidents thanks to the advanced skin safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 is waterproof. It also has an LED spotlight, so when you're down there doing it, man, like, you can see all the nooks and crannies. It got the spotlight on it, so you're not missing any spots or anything. Because it's waterproof, you can say goodbye to the mess on the bathroom floor. You can do it in the shower. You can, So, guys, it's time to take care of yourself. All right, look at this. Look at this product. It's awesome. Thank you, Manscaped. This stuff is so great. They also threw in this beard hedger, which is just a great beard trimmer. We'll talk about that another time. But this is the performance package. So yeah, guys, go online, go to manscaped.com. If you want 20% off, use code NickyFit. You will get 20% off and free shipping worldwide. So check out the performance package. It's awesome. And thank you guys so much. Use code NickyFit. Save 20%. You're really helping out the podcast. And I want to say that I was already using Manscaped before they started sponsoring the podcast. I think they're a great product. So thank you guys for picking this stuff up. Use code NickyFit. Save 20% and free shipping. You're really helping me out. You're helping out the podcast. And thank you to Manscaped. And thank you guys. Go out there. Let's get cleaned up. Let's not go out there all messy and stuff. We got to look good. All right, guys. Thank you.
Crazy.
Oh, damn it.
So, going back to the prep this again is, what is your staples? What would for food wise?
What's the meal plan look like? Okay, so basically,
like, what do you like about it? Not what you hate. What do you like about?
To tell you the truth,
what do you look forward to most?
Okay. To tell you the truth, I really like it, and I actually like being on a meal plan. So for me, let's see what my favorite part. Honestly, my favorite is the chicken and rice.
You're
But
crazy.
but you know why, dude? Because I got an air fryer now, and I make it really crispy.
The chicken?
Both of it. So
Oh,
like,
okay.
I cook it all ahead of time.
I can handle the rice being crispy, but I don't know. I prefer the chicken breast
Like more
to be
moist.
moist.
Yeah, that's why I got that hot sauce, dude. So like,
Oh, got it.
so
Barbecue
so
sauce.
my thing is like, I cook everything usually like the night before, and that'll be a couple days worth. And I do the rice in the rice cooker and everything, so it's all done. And then I'm on lean beef too, except for now on my high days, it's all white meat. So like my high carb days, there's no fats anymore,
Right.
which makes sense, obviously. But so for me, I like to get the chicken and the rice like really crispy, where it like crunches a little, but then you put that hot sauce on it,
And
it
it
like
softens it up.
softens it up, and it's kind of like, I don't know, it just makes it really
That's like
good.
putting the sugar-free ketchup into the ground turkey.
Dude, sugar-free ketchup is the best.
You think so?
I love it.
Gotcha. I got sick of it because I was trying to get down
The
that
problem is it's got 10
99%.
calories though, dude.
That's not bad.
If
That's
you
not
want to
bad.
get really crazy, dude, and I don't know if I should do this now because like we're getting closer and closer, so I probably need less sauces. But you can take like chicken and rice, and you take a little bit of that sugar-free syrup. Do you ever use the syrup? So like that's
Oh,
what.
the maple syrup
Yeah, maple syrup.
in chicken?
So listen, if you mix a little bit of the maple syrup with that hot sauce, it's
Yeah.
like a sweet like teriyaki sauce almost.
What?
Yeah, it's pretty fucking good.
Wow.
Yeah,
So you put syrup in chicken.
I've done it. Yeah.
Man, that's like putting pineapples in pizza. What do you think about that?
Oh, that's one of my favorite pizzas, dude.
Yeah, because
Pineapple pizza.
so my pizzas, I don't know. I don't know what it is about pineapples and pizza. I don't
So
like
what
it.
you got to do is you got to get this one called the sweet swine, and so that's like Canadian bacon, pineapple, and sauerkraut on a pizza.
Ooh, from where?
Well, that might be just an Iowa thing, bro. I don't know.
Is it?
That might be a back home. Yeah, we used to get that back home.
Huh.
But
Interesting.
it makes sense back home because everything, we did a lot of sauerkraut. And then
So,
there's
are
a lot
you
of-
afforded any cheat meals on this prep, or is it high carb days?
It's just the 2 high carb days now. I don't think I'm I mean, I think he would still give me a cheat meal, but I'm like not doing it.
Right.
Because I feel like every time I do a cheat meal, it just fucks me up.
Yeah.
Like, then I'm like, feel like I'm losing ground.
Yeah. It
You know what
depends
I'm
on
saying?
depends on the person.
If I get more, yeah, you're right. Because sometimes it actually resets it makes you like burn fat more. 'Cause
Yep.
It's like,
Either way.
I should actually ask him about it. It's just like, I
Well,
don't,
it depends on the person. Some
Yeah.
people respond like, for example, Carlo and Nick Zabik, the Marine. They responded really well. They look really full and tight the next day when they
Right.
came to. We did an experiment a day before the posing class with my coach Andre Scott. In Portland, we went to In-N-Out Burger in Salem because
Right.
we planned to do that after we worked out at the Kamikaze Iron Gym in Salem, Oregon. That was pretty awesome. They had a great time.
when I've been really lean before and then I've had like a cheat meal, I've woke up the next day like shredded looking.
Yep.
So I know that. Like, it's
Yeah.
definitely like, but lately I just haven't been because I don't know. I feel like I'm getting into this good state where it's like getting really lean, but then I don't know. Maybe I should talk to him and see what he thinks about that. I'm sure he'll tell me. But for now, it's just those 2 high carb days, and then the other days are lower carbs, but there's some fats back in,
Great.
so some almond.
Yeah.
But no, I don't mind. What do you do for your? He also added fruit in on the high carb day, like some blueberries or something.
Here and there, actually, I do include a decent amount of fruit in everybody's diets, pretty much. So it's a little different. So it is important for digestion, I think.
Yeah.
It's important
Nutrients.
for immunity and all that stuff. Yeah, I do like one of my meals. I do blueberries, oat bran, and peanut butter.
Yeah.
Typically, and I put this far out. I'll put stevia and cinnamon. Cinnamon's really good for your metabolism. But I do either blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and then another thing that I've been using as well as pineapples are really good. So
Yeah, pineapple is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, so my morning meal is cup and a half of egg whites with spinach, make an omelet, and then
Yeah.
it's like 45 grams of cream of rice.
Dang.
So, and then I put like
I've never really had cream of rice, to be honest.
I love it. So that's what I'd use the syrup for.
Is it sweet? Or?
No. So you put a little bit of that sugar-free syrup and then cinnamon and then a scoop of peanut butter, 16 grams of peanut butter, and you mix that all up, and it's really good. But then, yeah, like when I get on the meal plan, I don't really crave other stuff.
Right.
It's only if I do, like, yeah, I don't know. That's why sometimes I feel like the cheat meal's not necessary. But
Yeah, it depends on the person. So some people really respond well to dense calories. Some people don't. So,
Right.
and the only way you'll know that is you got to experiment a couple times before the show, and everybody's a little different. Some people, they look horrible after
after a cheat meal?
Yeah, some people
Really?
look,
Okay.
whoa, what did you do? I did exactly what you told me to do, coach. So what did you have? I had a burger and fries, a double burger with fries, or a triple burger with fries, and then I woke up the next morning, this is what I look like. Okay.
Dude, the coolest thing is, like, if you're really lean and then you have a cheat meal and then the next day, like, you just, all your veins, like, I'll go to work and they'll be like, what the fuck? And it's like,
Yeah.
just your veins and shit start popping out and, like, I don't know. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's just food.
I'll be like, well, I lifted arms today and I had a cheat meal last night. That's what's going. They're like, why do you look so today?
Yeah. It's because you activated this hormone. It's called leptin.
Leptin.
So the leptin hormone is activated. So it just needed. Your body was telling you, I wanted carbs, and then you lose weight or you look better the next day. It's your body rewarding. Okay, or you satisfied me, so now I'm gonna make you look good.
Right, and now you've done intermittent fasting, right?
Here and there. I mean, that's not planned though, because
it's just because you haven't been able to.
Because working at a retail job or being too busy and not eating and stuff. So
there was a while where it was like super popular, and I played with it, and I ended up taking it like too far. I was like, I just got like lost too much.
Or are you having a hard time going to the bathroom?
No, it was like I at first I was like pretty big when I started, and I mean in good shape already.
Right.
And then I got really kind of shredded.
Yeah.
But then I think I held the deficit too long. And I started like losing my muscle and shit. And that was before I knew anything about bodybuilding. I was just trying to be lean all the time because I was, wrestling.
Were you starting yourself?
Basically.
Ugh.
Yeah. Even my wrestling promoter was like, bro, you're like fucked up. You need to start eating. He was like, and I learned my lesson from that. But the weird thing was going to say, like, when I first started doing it and it was like working, I would do like intermittent fasting. So like you haven't had any carbs for so long, and then all of a sudden you'd eat carbs and your body would just like suck them up, and like all of a sudden like you'd look like, and you're like natty, like I was natty, but I would look like I was just on fucking something. Yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, that was like 2012, 2013.
Oh wow. Were you here already, or were you still in Iowa?
Oh no, I was back in Iowa. That's when I was still wrestling at the time.
Never got a chance to ask you when and why did you move here?
Okay, so I was working at a bar in Iowa, and it was like 2017. So like, and me and my buddy at the bar, and like, so it was like two dudes that worked in the kitchen, me and another friend of ours, and we actually all lived in a house in Iowa. We ended up renting a house together, and I just want to tell people here, like, this is the difference. Like, it's going to make you all sad because, like, you know how rent is here.
Expensive?
Yeah, so, like, there was, like, three of us, me, my buddy Brennan, my buddy Andrew. We were living in this house, and then Andrew got a girlfriend, and his girlfriend moved in, too. So there's four of us in this house.
Was it a big house?
I mean, it was plenty.
It wasn't this place, was it?
No, it was plenty big for us, dude. And, like... So there's four of us, and the total rent of the house per month was like $550 a month.
What?
Split that 4 ways. That's what we were paying.
$2,200.
No, I'm saying the total.
Rent,
total? Yeah, it was $550
here.
No, this was back in Iowa.
I was like, dang.
So I'm trying to make people realize, you're all fucked here. Like, the rent is crazy.
Yeah.
So we're paying $550 a month, and then we split that 4 ways.
So it's better to be near the corn than
Yeah,
near the coast.
I mean, there's benefits of being out here too. Like you're not gonna have a cool ass podcast or with all these awesome people and guests to be on it. You're just gonna have a bunch of corn people, and there's a lot of cool people in Iowa too. I shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
Could probably get a bunch of cool like hunters and stuff.
Have you thought about doing a show over in your hometown area, or is there any?
There'd be some pretty dope guests you could get. Like I said, people go and travel all over just to go hunting, like white-tailed deer hunting in Iowa. Like even Dale Earnhardt used to do that shit.
Wow.
But anyway, to finish my story, so we were playing in this band. We were playing in a band called Sundog at the time. Mm-hmm. So it was me, and three of my buddies. Two of them worked in the kitchen at the bar, and we start like, playing this acoustic rock music. We're doing like covers. We wrote some of our own too, and we started playing at bars, and it was like a lot of fun. And so then me and the one kid were like, what if we just moved to Seattle? I think it was kind of like his idea, and I was like,
that's crazy.
and I like grew up with loving like Pearl Jam and Soundgarden, and like Alice in Chains and all this shit. So like, I don't know. And plus, I was just at a time in my life where I was kind of like wanting to take a risk or a chance and like try something different. Because I always felt like this calling, like there's something out there bigger for me. Because I was in a small.
Well, how big of what pocket of Iowa fits, or the whole pocket of Iowa? What pocket of it in Washington fits, or is it a bigger state than I really think?
Oh shit! It's Iowa's pretty. I mean, it's not huge. It's like smaller than Minnesota. Yeah. It's like a little square, basically.
Oh, got it.
You've seen it. Like
how many square miles is it?
Let's look it up, dude. Iowa. How many square miles? I guarantee the population's smaller though.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so it was like he's like, let's move to Seattle and start a rock band, and I'm like, yeah, let's fucking do it.
That's funny.
Iowa square miles. So Iowa is 55,857 square miles.
Oh wow.
Washington State square miles.
So Nick, we have this guy Torture Room on here.
Oh yeah.
Miguel Guajardo. He's
and so Washington's 71,000.
Nice.
But yeah, so we moved out here, and the first thing we did is we ended up living with this dude who worked for Boeing. Yeah. And he this dude rents us this room. That's how we got here. And it wasn't a bad place. Like it had he wasn't even home a lot, and he had this big projector screen, so we put like the PlayStation on there and shit, and washer and dryer and everything. But then he was also a pilot because he worked for, like I said, I think he worked for Boeing, and he was a pilot. Right. And so like one of the first times I got here, he's like, "You want to go up in the airplane with me?" And so he like took me up in this little fucking. It wasn't a Cessna. It was like another one of those type of small airplanes. And dude, it was so dope. And like his buddy was learning how to fly. Yeah. And so he was like giving his buddy hours, and his buddy was not very good. Like when he landed, I was like scared. I'm like, holy shit. Yeah. And he's like, I think I'll land the next one. I'm like, yeah, let's fucking.
This is when you just got to Seattle?
Yeah. So like they even flew by like the Space Needle and shit. Wow. So I had a picture of like the Space Needle out the window of this little plane.
Were you already all moved, or were you just testing the waters?
No, I was already moved. I was living with this dude, and he was a pilot. He was the guy that we rented the room from. Oh, God. And he also he had these two Teslas, dude. So like when I first moved here, I got to drive his Teslas a lot.
Oh, nice. I've never been in a Tesla, to be honest.
Dude, they're insane.
It's like the quietest thing ever.
Oh my God, but they're so fast.
They're electric cars, right?
Yeah. You feel like you can just like fucking right around everybody, because like, so he would rent his cars out on this Turo app, and so like I would have to clean them and get them ready for the next person that would pick them up, and he would pay me to do it. And but then when he would need to go get it worked on or something in Seattle, so we were in Kirkland, and so he would drive one of the Teslas, I would drive the other one. So I got to like drive to Seattle in this Tesla all the time, and it was like, wow, dude, it was fucking insane.
That's awesome, dude.
I was like, I want to have a Tesla someday.
And then so
And I
after
still
that,
don't.
you were like, you'll have one.
Yeah.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Keep doing it. Fuck.
So after that, did you just fall in love with the area, or
Not really.
Gotcha.
No. When I first moved here, I didn't like the area.
Was it the people, or
these people are fucking weird.
was it Bellevue?
You know, now I like so many of the people here.
Was it in Bellevue or Redmond?
It was Kirkland first. And
You
then,
went straight to Kirkland?
Yeah.
No wonder.
Right. And so the weird thing was, until I found the bodybuilding community, I didn't really, it's not like I didn't like the people. It's just like, I'm from Iowa, dude. You don't realize how different moving into a different state people are. And so like you move here and all these people are like, you know, to me, they're kind of weird. I'm like, what's up with these people?
You know Miguel Guajardo from Torture Room?
No.
He's the guy who he works on a lot of Olympians with deep soft tissue massage.
Yeah.
He'll be in Seattle or the Body Shop on
Is that the thing you shared?
March 31st.
Dude.
So this is what he said about the Tesla. And going back to the Tesla, he goes, Tesla's awesome. Their battery life sucks. Very bad investment, but awesome to drive. Fast.
He's right, actually.
But quiet, you know.
He's right, I think, about the battery. Like, I don't want to be tied down to these batteries charging stations. Like, so if I do ever get super successful,
when
So when I do get super successful, that's right, you are supposed to do that.
Yeah.
When I get super successful, I don't necessarily think a Tesla is, I'll probably have many vehicles. So maybe.
What do you mean, a Bentley or a Bugatti or a Aston Martin?
Oh, dude, that's tough.
So if you had to pick one,
I mean, I'm too big for fucking luxury vehicles, dude.
Just get a Hummer then.
Yeah, well,
or a G-Wagon.
I'm definitely gonna get like a Ford Raptor.
Dang.
I don't know why. I just like those cars. I like those trucks. But.
Can you build a car?
No.
Oh.
I know how an internal combustion engine basically works.
Okay.
But not a new one. Like, my dad used to build race cars, dude. Like,
oh, that's cool.
So, like, when I was a kid, my dad was a hobby stock dirt track race car driver, and they called him Rocket Rod Friedoff.
Oh, geez.
The Rocket.
Rocket Rod Friedoff.
Rocket Rod.
It rhymes.
His name was Rocket Rod.
And it rhymes.
And he was, like, really good driver. And, he had there was another guy that was like the owner of the car and everything, and my dad was the driver, and they had a good team. He was number 44. Mm-hmm. But then he kind of gave it up because, he had kids and everything. But then there was one time when I was like in high school, he decided to race one more time. It was like 2003. So I'm in high school at the time. And so he built a car again, and that time I was able to actually kind of help him because I was when the first time when he raced, I was a little kid. I didn't know what was going on, So like,
right.
It was pretty dope that he did one more last hurrah, and so I got to help him with that. So I learned a little bit about cars, but no, I'm not. Yeah. Like, my dad's a fucking motorhead, dude. Like, he could fix, like, not cars now, but like
everything,
carburetor, the old fucking like.
He can do a lot.
Yeah, the old Chevys, like the small blocks and everything. I mean, dude.
Right.
Like, he fixed up a car and fucking renovated it. It's just dope. And he'll send you like a video of the engine running, mm-hmm. and he'll like, fucking do the thing on the carburetor that makes it like fucking it's like wah-bah. Yeah. And he's always like sending these aggressive videos of just like just
man, you got that down. You could be a sound guy.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. And it's always makes this like this fucking crackling noise.
It's like
dude.
a Roadrunner or something.
But that's like his shit, dude. So like that's his thing. My dad, he loves that shit. Engines. Like, he hates fucking new stuff.
Yeah.
He's
he's
like old school everything.
Which reminds me, are your parents supportive of you competing and stuff, or are they gonna be here?
Dude, they're back in Iowa. They don't really.
Is that very conservative?
They don't really like pay it. They don't. I don't know. They don't really.
Is it Amish?
Nah, it's like I don't necessarily know that they get this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like bodybuilding.
Yeah.
or like any of the stuff I'm doing, the podcast.
It's a
like,
pretty rural area, right?
yeah, so basically if you're somebody that does anything outside of just getting a job at like a factory, moving into a house, starting a family, like if you do anything outside of that norm, like they just can't comprehend it.
Right.
So like I was always like chasing my dreams, pro wrestling, music, like they just don't really get it. I don't know, like they're great parents, I love them, but like
Yeah.
I don't think they've said one thing about like, oh, you have a bodybuilding show coming up, that's awesome. Like they just don't pay attention. It's like out of their world.
They
it's
think
like
they think it's it's just they think is it a powerlifting competition?
yeah, it's like they just don't really get it, and they don't really. I don't know. I don't know what they think. Honestly, I don't really. That we don't really talk about it, dude. Like,
will they be coming? Or
nah, they wouldn't go to something like that. They never went to my wrestling shit either.
Just friends and family and stuff.
I think they went to one of my wrestling matches once.
Okay.
But I have so many friends that are super supportive, dude. I'll have so many people there.
Yeah.
Like that's one thing in life I'm super grateful for. Like I've always had super good supportive friends.
Yeah.
So back home though, I do have two of my buddies. I always give them a shout out, Stevie and Mickey. We always have a text thread running, and I stay really close with those guys. Are like my ride or die dudes.
That's
like,
cool.
So they're up on everything I'm doing, and then of course like my wrestling promoter. From when I used to wrestle, his wife.
Is that in Iowa?
Yeah, my buddy James Jeffries, his wife Nicole. Like, I have this insanely amazing support system, dude. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm so lucky with my friends, like. So yeah, it's cool, but well, that's my goal. I'm gonna get so successful, then like my family will kind of understand. They'll like get it then, It's like
that's what you got to do.
You just got to prove it,
That's
like,
how you win.
Yeah,
that's how you win. You keep doing it, even though nobody else is out there. It's like you're the only one out there. You're the only one behind closed doors. It's what you do behind closed doors too. So
yeah, and sometimes, dude, you just have to like do it for yourself, right?
That's the same thing.
Like, you don't need that validation.
Yes, that's how entrepreneurship works. Ain't nobody gonna get it for you but yourself. So
well, and even like I can't remember, it was another entrepreneur we both would know him, but he shared this thing where it's like, it was this funny thing about like, this is what it's really like being an entrepreneur. Like basically your friends and family don't give a fuck. They're almost rooting against you even.
Yeah.
Like that's how you have to have that mentality, dude.
Yeah.
Like you have to do it. Like you have to prove it to people.
Yep.
And I think it's like, you can like you said, if you start getting down that negative path, like, oh, nobody's really caring about me, or nobody cares about what I'm doing, or that's like some negative shit. You don't want to go down that path,
Yep. That's
like,
all you can do.
You don't need that validation from those people.
Yes, that's all you can do. It's the only people that matter. And my friend Josh Bull's on here, another pro of mine. He's also a fellow coach. I'm sure he resonates with this, that the only people that matter is your wife and your kids and your mentor, and that's probably it. And anything outside of that is extra. Mm-hmm. Anything outside, most of the time it's just that. So it's the person that's recalibrating your life constantly, whether that being your friends. If you have a good circle of friends and you have a small group of friends that have to say, hey Mark, you're going a path that has nothing to do with our values, so either pucker up or we are no longer friends. It takes a lot of guts to say something.
Dude, having friends like that is like the most valuable thing. Yeah. Like the friends that'll be honest with you if you're fucking up. Mm-hmm. Like that's how you know who's not your real friend. Mm-hmm. Like I even say that too. Like I almost get mad when people are like, this is my own thing. I get mad when people are not pushing me to be better. Right. I'm like, do you even fucking care about me?
Is it okay? It's okay. Just go have a drink.
Go
eat, right, Josh? So, cause you're how many weeks out from a show? It's okay. You can have some pancit lumpia from your in-laws, or you can have a burger. You can have a cheesecake. You can have a key lime pie. It's okay. You look good anyways.
Yeah.
So what? It's not gonna hurt you.
The people that tell you to take it easier and relax, they are the last fucking people I want around me. Yep. I want the people that are like, you have so much more potential than this. You need to work harder than you are now even. Yep. Even if you're already working hard, I want that person that tells me, you know what, you can do better though. Yep. You can do more. That's like my real friend. And that's like my friends, the ones I was telling you about. That's them. If I start complaining or some shit, they will fucking call me out, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, shout out to Josh too. Like he's he's Emma's coach now.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
which is pretty dope.
Yep, we got to get you on here, bro. You know it's going to be comedy. We got to get him on here solo first, and then we'll get him and me. We have so many crazy stories already. I've barely known this guy for a year, and we already have so many crazy stories.
Dude, he's huge. Dude,
Yeah,
dude's a big dude.
He looks like
Superman.
Yeah. It's like
Clark Kent.
You could wear a tie, but see, Josh doesn't look nerdy though. So he looks cool with glasses on though. So
Well, I mean, Clark Kent looks cool too. Like, he's.
So
I'm gonna dress like Batman. Then.
are we gonna dress like Batman?
Yeah.
What would I be?
Who are you gonna be?
Robin?
Right, you don't want to be Robin, dude. No, come on.
Well, who am I gonna be? I mean,
shit, I don't know, dude.
I can't be the Hulk. I'm gonna be like a 5-foot Hulk.
Who are your favorite superheroes? The Hulk?
Shoot, I actually resonate with Shazam. Remember Shazam?
Is he the kid that like?
Yeah, it's the guy with the red and yellow logo. Yeah. It was an old cartoon back in the early 80s.
Right.
So this is what Josh said. This was really cool. He said, validation is just another way for people to control and influence you, who you are as an individual. You don't need validation ever. It's your life. Don't live it for validation. So that's dope.
That's some good advice there.
Yep. So a lot of us are, like I said, a loner in the sport. And as an entrepreneur, sometimes you're the only one that's working. Mm-hmm. And then everybody else doesn't understand what you're doing. You're doing this for your family. You're doing this for your own, your kids, their grandkids, and their kids.
Right.
The only thing they'll remember is all the great places and memories that they had.
Like I'm doing it for kids I don't even have yet, dude.
Yep.
It's because like if I have kids, I want to give them everything. Josh
said Captain America for life.
Dude, he is Captain America. That fits him perfectly.
I mean, I'm surprised he hasn't already through bodybuilding, he hasn't gotten anybody recruiting him for like an extra or something. Because
he should be in a movie.
I'm not lying. You do look like you're a superhero, bro. So
right.
I'd look like you're more like Tattoo in Fantasy Island. That little midget. So,
oh, fuck that, dude. No. Dude, my favorite superheroes are Batman and Wolverine. Those are my two.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
I don't know why. Batman's the best.
Batman. I don't know. There's something.
He's all like moody and gothic.
So the version of Batman that I liked the most was Miguel's on here too.
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton, 1980 with Kim Basinger.
Yeah, that's the OG.
So I don't know. That was the most carved up Batman I've ever seen.
He's like, I want you to do something for me.
I want you to
tell all your friends about me.
Oh, and Miguel said Spider-Man all day.
Hey, Spider-Man, which one though? Toby.
So which Spider-Man, Miguel, was that? Tobey
Maguire, or what's the second one?
Let's see.
And then who's the new one? Tom Holland. Who's the other one? The other one was good too.
I don't keep up with Spider-Man much. Maybe this.
You know what's weird? They actually were all really good.
Gotcha. These guys are having a conversation on here. A little debate with superheroes, which is cool.
So we started a superhero debate.
This is what Josh said. So, I mean, bodybuilders were kind of superheroes in a sense. I mean, depending on your height.
I think so.
Josh said, playing off y'all's topic, it's... Come on, Josh. You're typing too fast, bro. What did he say? He said, it's about legacy, what you want to be remembered for, and those who remember you the most will be your family and those lives you changed once again. Yeah, that's good, dude. That's great stuff,
man.
And
that's what we were saying earlier. Like, it matters what you do in life.
And then, like, with what Miguel's doing, like, dude, Josh, you got to meet Miguel. What Miguel? He's quite the story. He was a guy from Tri-Cities in Kennewick, I think it was his second stab at being a massage therapist.
Right.
He got connected with Missy Truscott, an Olympian, and now he's working on the Olympians in Vegas.
Fuck, dude.
That's quite the story. So that's a classic example of shitting on your connections or taking full advantage of it and being grateful and recognizing that opportunity. So kudos to Miguel there.
Yeah.
For real. So, Yeah.
showing that appreciation.
Yeah.
Yeah, being thankful is such a thing, dude. Like, oh, man, it changes everything when you show gratitude for stuff.
Yep. For sure.
It just like everything changes. The way you think about the world changes. How people receive you changes. It's like I said, like with talking about work, like why I do, I don't ever want to like get into it with customers because like I work for some pretty awesome people, dude. So like I said, I want to represent them the best way I can.
Yeah.
And what is me like fighting with a customer? How does that like I said
Does
that says more about the customer than me if they're shitty, like.
Yeah. Damn, yeah, you got to get Miguel on here. When he comes here to Bellevue, you got to get him on here. He literally said he was homeless when he came up with the opportunity, the torture room theory. I'll never forget where I came from. That's crazy. Yeah, you got to get Miguel on here.
That's like the ultimate story of an entrepreneur, dude.
Yeah.
Like people don't realize that's how close it is sometimes. Like
For sure. Josh is quite the story too. Him and his wife. They're Air Force. They moved from Texas.
yeah,
Yeah, they're both Air Force.
no way.
And he'll explain to you what PCS is. I think it's where you transfer for somewhere else for military wise.
Yeah.
And you really don't have a choice of where you transfer to. So.
Right, we'll get him on here sometime. He was going to be on one time. He had something came up.
Yeah.
But yeah, he'd be an awesome guest. And it's cool. Yeah, he's like coaching Emma. She said that's her new coach.
Mm-hmm. Good dude.
Yeah.
Good dude. That's a good combination.
He should be in a freaking movie though, dude.
You hear that,
like
Josh? You should be.
Shit?
You should be in a movie, bro. So like, he looks like the type that would be like. I don't know. He definitely looks like a Superman type. So
definitely a superhero for sure.
See, he won't get off here because he said he's trying to go home from the gym, but he loves being on our live here. Nothing compares to Miguel's story. Crazy inspirational. Well, yeah, he was homeless.
Well, Josh, you have any questions for us or anything? Or
I have a question for Josh, but he can, if he has any questions, I'll have him ask you.
Right.
Here. Say what's up, Josh.
What's up, Josh? That's kind of cool. That's the cool part about having the live thing going, dude.
Yeah, because you have somebody talking
get some
to you
people,
still.
some feedback, and
Yeah. What's he saying now?
he said, "Ask the questions." And somebody said, "Oh, the torture room said, what's Josh's story?"
Josh's story. He married a hot Filipino woman from Texas, and I don't know how he got her. I'm just kidding. Dude, I love you, Josh and Alexa.
That's freaking hilarious, bro. I don't know how you got her. Maybe because he's huge.
No, because he looks like Superman.
He looks like fucking Superman.
He's like, Alexa said, "You look like Clark Kent." I'm marrying that guy right there.
Yeah, she liked that.
What did he say?
She liked that Henry Cavill thing.
Josh, don't beat me up, man. I'm currently writing it. He's writing. Wait, how are you writing a question on a phone? Or are you writing it down on a notebook?
Dude, we're writing a screenplay for you to be a superhero.
Miguel's having a feast here. Miguel's in Vegas right now. So
dude, in Vegas, was homeless at one point. That's an amazing
You know
story.
who he works on now? He works on Jay Cutler, Missy Truscott, Jeremy Buendia. I mean, that's just a few names.
Dude,
yeah.
That is wild.
And I'm not going to lie, I'm a little scared.
Of getting massaged?
Yeah, with Miguel. So Josh said, "What's my story?" So I said, "I'm currently writing it." Oh, I thought you were living.
He's living.
Oh,
he's
living. My bad. I am prep brain right now, Josh, and he's in prep right now too. How many weeks out are you, Josh, from this? So he's in prep for Utah show.
Dude, that's sick.
Yeah, this dude's gonna make it to the Olympia. I swear to God.
100%.
So he's like your height, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
How much do you weigh, Josh?
I don't know. He'll tell you.
Like in your bulk versus during a show.
His bulk's like 7,000 calories, maybe.
Holy shit, man.
Piece it.
I can't read it.
Let me see. He said, Oh no, it's still the same thing
Still
on
the
here.
same thing. Okay, okay.
He said he's still writing it, of course, but I know what he means.
He's writing his story, dude.
Yeah,
We're all
yeah.
writing our story.
Yeah.
It's just what story do you want to write, dude?
Yeah,
I feel like you can change your story too, you know what I mean?
for sure.
That's like what you're talking about, like every time you make those decisions, you know?
Yep.
You can basically choose to like it's funny because we have another dude, his name is Jesse, he's one of the people on Team Renovation. He posted something about that where it's like you know what the right answer is.
Yeah.
You know, like you know the right answer is to like, you know, not eat the pizza or not, you know, like, you know, not stay up late or do this. You just have to like do the right answer. You know, like you have to do the right thing.
Right.
It's like so it's hard, but it's not hard really.
Yep.
If you take out like the emotional part out of it, it's like actually simple. You just have to do the thing you're supposed to do.
Right.
You know, but it's weird. But it's hard to do that because people get emotional about it. Like I've had friends that are like, you know, like they'll have a bunch of excuses about like why they can't get in shape or this or that, and like,
Yeah.
oh, you know, or they'll tell me like, oh, I think I have a thyroid problem and stuff, and it's like, you just told me how you were going home and baking cookies and like you're drinking beer all the time. Like you don't have a thyroid problem, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, it's weird, dude. Like people like, I don't know. People tell themselves a lot of stories, I think.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
You just got to encourage them. What do you do so here's another question. What do you do with a client that just keeps, they're not being consistent? And so like, how do you even like, if you have a client, you're doing their meal prep.
I'm very forgiving.
You have to be,
I
right?
give a lot of chances. For people, it's just
You just try to encourage them?
just try to encourage them. Anybody else would probably cut them off. They were like, you know what? I don't think this is gonna work.
Right.
You know, I'm just taking your money, and I don't feel right taking your money if you're not doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing.
Right.
But other people are different. So.
Well, I would say, try to keep encouraging them. I feel like as a coach, it would be hard to even know if you need to raise their calories, lower their calories. If there's no consistency, how do you even like plan? It's like
yeah.
to even see what's happening.
A lot of the times, sometimes you have a client you're chasing a lot.
Yeah.
And if you're chasing them, that's probably the wrong. It's just not going to work.
Not a good fit.
Yeah, it just depends if they're just downright negative too. That's another part. If they're just down in the mouth, I can't have anybody around that, or I just don't.
It'll kind of bring the whole team down.
It'll bring the whole team down, but I actually, sometimes it gets to a point where I don't even invite that person anywhere because they're just gonna be,
right,
kind of like a negative Nancy,
right,
and they're gonna bring the whole vibe down, So, but that's one thing. Then the other thing is, man, yeah, at some point I was like, hey, maybe competing's not for you. Maybe you just want to just work out and just get in shape.
Right.
You don't have to compete. And then I try to take the pressure off of them. No. Actually, I'm going to do this. And then sometimes they step it up, sometimes they don't. But most of the time, the people who work with me, they've stepped it up.
So that almost pushes them to step it up even more.
Yeah.
Because you're like, hey, you don't have to do this. And I was like, wait a minute, what? I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Like it almost like lights the fire under them again.
Yeah, so it's gives them a little encouragement.
Yeah.
So I am a little bit forgiving. I don't really lash at people unless they're, like I said, if it has something to do with your family or money or integrity, then that's a different story.
Yeah.
But if they're just doing it to themselves, I mean.
Yeah, I feel like that's the best thing to do is just stay, positive and try to encourage them, like. Because I've had some friends like that where they, sometimes it just takes people a long time to make a good change, or make a healthy change.
Yep.
But
what is it for you? Like, why did you get into personal training? Is it because you like being around the team that you've been around? You want to be able to provide that same thing for other people, or?
Yeah, for me it was like I've just been lifting for so long, and I was like, kind of like you said, it's something I'm passionate about. Like, So I love my job at the bar, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm super thankful I got in the bar industry. But at the end of the day, like, man, I'm not very passionate about the bar. If anything, I actually think it's sad that people drink. You know,
Yeah.
like it's like
Yeah.
a lot of people aren't really happy that are drinking. It's like it's a drug at the end of the day, and so it's like, you know, almost a little bit, you know, not what I'm about. You know, I want people to like make improvements in their life and become healthier and happier and like, you know, there's nothing wrong with a little drinking here and there too, but
Yeah.
it's not, like I said, it's not something I'm passionate about. So
Mm-hmm.
I thought, you know, if I could eventually have my career going towards something I actually care about, where I feel good about what I'm putting into the world. So like, you know, if I'm giving an alcoholic a beer, I don't necessarily feel great about that role in the world. You know,
Right.
like it's not my fault. That's their choice, and I'm all about freedom of choice and everything. You know, but if I'm helping somebody get in shape, when I know what it's done for me and my mental health and my life and my confidence and how much it's made my life better, and I can help somebody else achieve that, I feel like to me that's such a valuable thing, and it makes me feel good, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where it came from for me, is like I feel more aligned with those values of helping somebody than I do feel aligned with the value of serving drugs to people. You know, it's like,
Right.
because at the end of the day, and I'm like, hey, I like drinking, it's fun, but it's a drug. You know, you got to be realistic about what it is.
Right.
And it's kind of like anything. What's your reason for doing it? Are you doing it to celebrate? Then that's cool. You know, or like, hey, we're gonna go do this bodybuilding show. If we have a whiskey afterwards, like
Right.
we just worked our ass off. We're gonna celebrate. That's a good thing.
Right.
Are you doing it to numb the pain of your life every day? Then it's not. I don't feel so good about serving it to you. You know,
Right.
but you know, it's whatever. But I mean, there's still ways in which you can like add value to people's lives, even in that situation. Like, if I got people in the bar and I just listen to them, and I can be like, you know, because sometimes we're like psychologists, like in the bar, you know, you listen to people's problems. So you can still give value, or you feel good about what you're doing, you know. You're still like helping people in a sense. But to me, if I could like do that with fitness and helping people in that sense, it would be a lot more fun, you know. So that's kind of where that came from for me, dude. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Never knew that about you. So
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
pretty cool.
totally. Yeah, yeah. I don't know, dude. I just want people to be happy, healthy, feel good, look good, achieve things. You know, like what's your biggest fear? Because I know what mine is.
Okay, I'll tell you. There was something that happened last week.
Yeah.
My biggest fear is not being able to help the person I should have.
Yeah.
So a week before last week, I got contacted by a friend of one of my daughters who was a coworker. Right? Her
Right.
husband wanted to be a bodybuilder. I was like, yeah. So I got your number from your daughter's coworker. I'm the husband. You know, I'm interested in bodybuilding.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm out of town right now. I'll be back on Monday. And then I followed up with him on Monday. He was supposed to call me. And then hey, just checking on you. You know, we were supposed to, rub elbows, connect, whatever. And his wife messaged me from his phone, and he took his life. So
Oh,
that
fuck,
if
dude.
there's any regret that I have, yeah,
Like not reaching out
maybe
more.
maybe I was too late. I don't know. But no, he reached out to me. And then he was like, I'll be out of town. I'll be back next week. And then I was like, okay. So I set a meeting
Dude.
for Monday, and I just shot him a text, and all of a sudden he's like, hey, this is So that's why sometimes it's really important that you take advantage of being able to help the people. You don't know what's going to come out of it
Yeah.
on each person. That actually woke me up a little bit. I mean, not a little bit, but a lot. I was like, wow, this is bigger than just yourself. So had I maybe, I don't know, if he got a hold of me sooner,
maybe.
that wouldn't have happened. So, I mean, you can't blame yourself for anything
No,
that
you
happens
can't blame
like
yourself
that.
for that, but
But at the same
still.
time, it's like, that's why act the way I do, maybe I shouldn't say no to this person that I could potentially help because it might impact their life. And then the person that's been impacted by their life is going to get impacted. And that person's life impacted somebody else's life. It's going to lead to a lot of things. So you just never know where it's going to go. So that's like I have like having no regrets.
Right.
So I used to put off stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And that, that's why it took me so long to get to where I was. So it took me 15 years to go pro. But at the same time, in bodybuilding, it's the only thing I've really ever finished. I started and finished. Because most of us start and we never finish.
So there is this value, and I found it too as I get older, in finishing things.
Yes.
It was like, even when I did the album with my band Loudhead,
yeah,
I was not really happy playing music anymore. I was more wanting to get into fitness again. It was because I wasn't feeling good, and the music thing just wasn't doing it for me anymore. But I was like, I have to finish this album. I can't start something, and that was a huge thing for me.
Right.
And now, like, following through with this show is a big thing. There's something about finishing things. Same with like when I studied and got my NASM certification. I'm like, I have to finish it. I have to complete it. There's like something about that. So it took you a while to kind of like understand the value of that, huh?
Well,
like finishing things.
Yeah, well, I think what I got from working with guys like Turk Fickling, Andre Scott, Matt Porter, Sean Calder, my original coach, Dave Thomas, is we always finish things.
Right.
So before that, when I was in high school, I think I quit everything. I started and didn't finish, and then I started a business with my wife and didn't finish that either. And so at that point, it's like everybody's like, when are you going to actually follow through with something? So
it's easier to not finish, dude.
That's where my heart lies with bodybuilding, is because that's where I finished, and I finished over and over and over and over again.
Still doing it to this day.
And I teach people the same thing. I teach people how to finish. And can it impact their whole life? Yes, it can. Can it impact the rest of their life? Yes, it can, because it does teach you discipline. Mm-hmm. If you can do that to yourself, you can do anything.
You can use that in so many different areas of your life too, man. Discipline.
Yep.
And that's part of like finishing things. Yeah, I would do that too. I think we get scared of things. It's easier to not finish because then it's like we're so scared of failure, but you have to fail.
But see, the thing is, you quit, and I'm like, what are you going to do? Hide from your loved ones? Hide from your friends? The key thing is finishing. So that's like half the battle. I think that's the lesson behind shows.
Right.
Is half the battle is finishing. Just like you're there, you did the tan, you're on stage, you did the whole diet, you did what Jordan told you to do, you did what Mark told you to do, Mark did what Andre told him to do, and when you finish, there's nothing more satisfying, because the whole process is kind of, you feel you're tired, you're exhausted, there's days you don't want to do it, there's a lot of days you don't want to do it, but you do it anyways because you know what the end result's going to be. And then when you get there, it's like you feel like Superman. It's like when you go into the gym, you feel like shit.
Yeah.
And then when you go out, you feel amazing. She's like, I'm glad I did that. Every single time. There's not a person that will tell you that they felt shitty after going to the gym.
Dude, there's days when I wake up and I feel like shit. Mm-hmm. Like my body's sore, and I'm just like, all I want to do is get back in bed and sleep. Mm-hmm. But after I go to the gym, I feel amazing.
Yeah.
Like my body feels good. My aches and pains are gone. I don't know. It's I think you're right. There's a lot of value in that, dude. Just doing the stuff you don't want to do because it's good for you. But yeah, I'll do that where you go to the gym, you always feel better afterwards. Yep. At least I do. Yep. There is a lot of value in doing stuff even when you don't want to. Like, even like this podcast, like I could have quit, how many episodes ago? Like, well, it's too hard. I don't want to do it, But you just have to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Even when you're like, oh, I don't feel like it today, or I don't feel good. It's like, nope, just do the thing, man. Do the thing.
Yep.
We
should do one more after this to see what transpired after the show, and we could have all these funny stories.
We'll have to do one after the show because, like you said, we're gonna go out to eat and everything. We're gonna have some stories. It's gonna be, I don't know what to expect, but like you said, I'm just gonna listen to the guys like you, my coach, the people that have done it before me, and take the advice from them. And that's my plan for the show, dude.
Yeah. So I'm going to eat probably everything, to be honest with you. My wife makes this amazing strawberry rhubarb pie.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Strawberry pie, and then I like mixing strawberry ice cream with it. And then I'll probably I'll probably slap pizza on top of it. Just get
Just
kind of
for good measure, dude.
Just gets disgusting.
Yeah.
And then burger and fries from one of the burger places nearby. Maybe a steak and potatoes. I can't go on. I can go on and on, bro. And maybe a shrimp scampi or a chicken scampi.
Maybe you should go with us when we go for our food day. When I go out with Tyler, dude. Like,
maybe.
Yeah, man. That's going to be fun. So, well, man, I think we're at like 2 hours if you want to call this good.
Yeah, so that's why I was saying, so we can talk about more of what transpired after the show, or we could probably, if we can do a live at the show and go through,
I think we probably could
make kind of a vlog for the weekend. It's like, hey, Mark, do you feel like shit? Yeah, I feel like shit too. Does he feel like shit? He looks good though. He feels like shit though.
Yeah, they say that. Is that true? Like the more like shit you feel like, the better you probably look.
Yes.
Because that's what I'm. Because that's what I'm telling myself.
You feel like shit, you're gonna look amazing. You feel skinny, you look amazing.
Well, that's what I started.
If you feel good, you're in trouble.
Yeah, because you shouldn't.
You're in trouble.
You're definitely overfed.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
Well, that's what I'm trying to tell myself about the next few weeks. Is like I should be feeling hungry and not very good. I should, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I should be thinking of that as a positive thing.
Yep.
That's what I'm telling myself for the next few weeks, dude. Yep. Like,
it's the most satisfying feeling when you get on the stage. So once you get,
well, it's also kind of fun when you start getting shredded and shit, dude. Like, looking like,
and it makes that food taste much better. It's like, okay,
that's all I get.
Bring on the chicken. Bring on the fish. Whatever it is.
Yep, whatever it is.
And then you're like, oh damn. Okay, let's keep bringing that chicken, man, or that fish. And it was like, looks good. I was like, not too many carbs because I might lose my abs.
Yeah, you don't want to lose the abs, bro. All right, Mark. Well, thank you again for being here, man.
That
was a fun episode.
It's always a pleasure, and we'll talk
because you're a busy dude, man. You're taking all this time out of your day to come here. This is awesome.
Yeah, so. I got a client after this.
Are you serious?
So it's cool. So and then I got a 5:30 a.m. with a Safeway general manager.
Of course you do.
So.
Yeah. That's an entrepreneur right there, guys. Yep. I appreciate that hard work, Mark. I'm looking up to you for that. That's
you too. You got your journey, so I wish you the best as yours too. We're gonna see it through anyways, really, right? So we're gonna see you go through that. So
yes, sir.
It's always a lot of fun. But after the show, and maybe even vlog this. We'll take a bunch of videos and maybe put it into one big compilation.
We should make a video. Yeah, we'll make a YouTube video or something, dude. But
we got to figure out how to do that. So
okay, guys. Thank everybody for listening, and we will see you next time. Peace out.